Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. And I am your host, Jody Coleman, in the building. I want to say happy Thursday to everybody out there listening to Against the Grain Sports. I hope you're enjoying this weather. We're starting to get into that spring weather where it's very enjoyable days. Of course, you know it's a lot of rain, which is going to come in the Midwest right around the corner, man. But it's great weather up here in Ohio, in the Midwest. Enjoying it. I want to thank everybody for joining in because you could be doing so many other things, but you're here with Against the Grain Sports. And you know what today is. Today is the NFL draft. We're going to see a lot of young men's dreams come true, the biggest job interview of their life, and they'll get their biggest hire of their life in the NFL draft. We also got some NBA playoff game, a lot of very intense matchups. Minnesota and Denver, probably the most intense matchup we'll talk about. Not to mention that the Milwaukee Bucks have already decided on their head coach. They're going to go ahead and bring in Taylor Jenkins, the former coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. He is now the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. And one thing that I want to say before I introduce my brother, James Pearson Jr. Why does that name sound familiar? He is a NFL rookie last year. Now he plays for the Atlanta Falcons, and he was charged, and everybody plastered over social media and everything how much of an animal this guy was, how stupid this guy was. Now I want everybody, the criticism needs to be silenced because all charges have been dismissed against this young man. But something wasn't true, but we'll get in that. But I want everybody be as loud as every man. Jarrell Solon Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas, in the building. What's going on, my guy?
It's draft day, baby. What's going on, my brother? How you doing today, man?
Man, I am fantastic. Like I said, I just wanted to get that James Pearson. That is more important to me than the draft because everybody was saying this guy should have did this, the guy should have did that. But guess what, man? He all charges dismissed. I got my man James Franks in the building. He said, please, with the number 6 pick, get Malachi Lemon. We can get Malachi. You think Malachi Lemon over a receiver from Ohio State? I don't know.
I'm scared to draft a wide receiver that's not from Ohio State higher than anybody else because it seems like they hit damn near every single time. But I don't know. I've heard so many things about Malachi Lemon, but I do think he's the more polished wide receiver. I think he will be the first wide receiver taken in this draft.
No doubt. I got my son in the building. What's up, son? Jody
What
Jr. in the building. What's up, little guy? We got Kathy in the building. Kathy said, what's up? And my son said, with y'all for the 6. He's a Cowboys fan. He's a house divided. He's a Cowboys fan. I don't know what's going on with that, man. But before we get into the NFL draft, because we're going to be here, James said he feel like Malachi, he's special. He reminds me a lot of Jackson Smith and Jigma. His ability, his size, and size. I want to talk about that man's size. But before we get to the action, let's go over the NBA quick before we get into this NFL action. So we're gonna kind of do a rapid on this NBA. Tonight, game is playing right now. Knicks and Hawks. We saw what happened in game 2. We're in game 3. We are in Atlanta. So what do you think about this one, man? The Knicks let that one slip through their fingers late, being up by a whole bunch of points in the fourth quarter, end up losing 107 to 106. Man, what do you think happens in game 3?
I think the Knicks get back on track. They're a veteran-laced team. They had a lot of playoff experience. Well, you can say what you want about Mike Brown, but he has coached at a high level in this league. Maybe not to everyone's liking, but he has won a lot of basketball playoff games in this league over the years. And I think Atlanta's got a lot of inexperience. I think the Knicks will get back on track. I think if they're smart, they will win today. You don't want to try to get that second one. I think get that first one and put their young team back on their toes. So I think the Knicks get a win tonight.
I think so too. I think the Knicks, like I said, I picked the Knicks to win this series. I do think the Knicks overall has a little bit more talent than Atlanta. Atlanta has a lot of good players. They all seem to play the same position. It's like they got a team full of wings. They don't really have any big guys up front, and then they got CJ McCollum, who has turned into the new villain, turned into new Trey Young up in Madison. Tricked that game off, missing those 2 free throws at the end of the game. But nevertheless, the Atlanta Hawks won game 2. They have home court. Let's see the game home court by Wednesday night, which I think that they will. So both agreed on that. We got another series right here between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. Game 3, Cavs are up 2-0, and it does right now. It looked like a no contest between 2 teams. Clearly, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the better roster. Did you ever look at box scores?
Mm-hmm.
You ever look at box scores?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch Toronto's box score? Said it's not entered. Look at the bottom of it. You ain't never read that. It says it right there. It said Dick is not entered. But anyway, talk to me. I don't even know why he's not playing though. Honestly, I think that he would probably be more beneficial than some of these other guys they're just throwing in the lineup. Dick can sometimes penetrate, and that's what they need, the Dick to penetrate. So talk to me on this one, man. Do Toronto have a chance to win game 3?
Oh, most definitely, man. The Cavaliers, they have a lot of talent, but they don't always show up every single game. Toronto's playing at home. Hopefully, Brandon Ingram hit Glorilla's passport, and she can't leave the country. She has to stay in Memphis one more day, so maybe he can get those legs right and get ready for game 3 and get some sleep. The brother always looks tired. I think he's got that sleepy eye look. But I think Toronto will get back on track. I don't know if the Dick's going to enter the game today, but I do think that they'll find a way to get a dub.
No doubt. I really believe that I think the Cavaliers are much better. You see that Donovan Mitchell is absolutely the best player in this series by far. Like the way that he's played, I know he's on the same team with James Harden. We know that Scotty Barnes is going to be a stud in this league. Brandon Ingram just have not got out of start. We know that the RJ Barrett, the booty bandit, if he would pay his toll, maybe we wouldn't have this problem, $17K, but he didn't pay his toll. But they got a lot of talent on this team. But I don't think without a point guard, I don't know if Emmanuel Quickly is going to play in this game. Is showed that they need a point guard in this game because this guy, man, he's definitely a backup. I mean, he couldn't hit the side of a barn in the last game. They played a lot of young guys in this game, and I just think Cleveland's just a better team. I don't think Cleveland will make it past the second round, but they definitely gonna sweep the Toronto Raptors. I got them winning game 3 for sure, going up 3-0. It's gonna be an insurmountable lead. James Frank said, "No, go ahead."
I said there's so much that happens in a playoff series, bro. I mean, right now Cleveland looks good. They played at home. Toronto got to get their shot. I just think I like Cleveland. I think they have a nice team. I just not really completely sold in them. So I think Toronto fights back and gets them one game today and possibly try to make a series out of it in game 4. I don't see them winning this series, but I'm not just completely sold on the Cleveland being that dominant over Toronto. So I think the Raptors will find a way to at least get one win at home. I don't know if Drake's going to be sitting courtside with his icy chairs. I don't know what the fuck. I guess he's promoting his new album. I guess he'll probably be sitting courtside with the iced out chairs and shit, things of that nature. But I think Toronto finds a way to get a win tonight.
Real quick, everybody that tune in to the draft, we're going to get right to the draft because it begins at 8 o'clock, but we're just going over a few of these NBA games and getting the NBA news out the way so we can go and focus completely on the NFL draft. James Frank said, no slight to take because I'll be happy as hell with him too. He also said, just Malachi is just his guy. My man Eagles Philly in the building. He said, good afternoon, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe and stay blessed. Appreciate you, big dog, man, out there in Philly. And then we got Ashley. What's going on, Light Bright? She said, hey, to the Against the Grain crew. Light Bright always making the show a lot brighter and fluent. We got Kathy said, I have faith in the Cavs making it out of the second round. I don't think they get out of the second round. I think that the Cavs will seek this series, but we seeing that Donovan Mitchell is a bona fide superstar in this league.
Who if they win this series, Joe, who they play in the next round?
4 or 5, so they play Detroit or Orlando. Detroit got the win last night, so Detroit's probably gonna win that series against Orlando.
Yeah, I think Detroit will win that. Hey, but you know what? She might be on to something. I'm not really sold on Detroit yet either. That offense is not clicking.
Yeah, they're not, but they won that game. I think that Cade Cunningham just needs a little bit of help.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, last but not least, this is the most intense game, intense series that we have. Is tied up at one. It's a lot of trash talk from both sides. I want to see if actually Denver's going to lock in defensively. But you got Denver, who lost home court, which is very important to the Denver Nuggets. They go on a roll against the Minnesota Timberwolves team that seem to be playing with a certain chip, certain bounce, certain kind of tenacity. People forget this is a team that has been in the Western Conference Finals back-to-back seasons. Anthony Edwards is a bona fide stud, but who wins this game in game 3 between the Nuggets and Timberwolves?
The Nuggets gonna lose tonight, bro. I think the Timberwolves, they got that swagger, man. Something about the Anthony Edwards, this is gonna sound freaky. He rubs off, not rubs on, but rubs off on the other teams on his roster. And he shows up to the post-game interview with the Easy shades on. He got players post-game on his team talking shit about the other team with the hoodies on. It's just this team got some swagger with him, and I think playing at home, like they got that experience. They like you said, they've been to the conference finals 2 years in a row, at least 2 out of the last 3 years. So I'm definitely picking them to get a win tonight and put more pressure on the Joker.
No, it's 2 years in a row.
Is it 2 in a row?
Because remember, they lost to Dallas, and then last year they lost to, I believe it was OKC last year.
Yeah, you're right.
So, because remember, they beat Denver. I think they beat Denver 2 years ago, and then
they beat them in game 7, right?
Yeah, they beat them in game 7. With the Joker ran out of gas, but nobody want to talk about that. But nevertheless, man,
you saying gas prices? I want to run out of gas sometimes too, brother.
Yeah, he ran out before the gas prices went up like this. But in this series, remember what I said before this even started? I said Minnesota was going to beat Denver. I told everybody.
You did say that.
And this wasn't me trying to shock the world. It just looked like Minnesota and Anthony Edwards he just seems like he wants it more. Not taking anything away from the Joker. I think the Joker is fantastic, but once again, this goes with the narrative. If the Joker cannot get out of the second round, he's going to be in the top 2 in MVP voting again. This is going to be 6 seasons in a row that the Joker has either won the MVP or came in second. And I think he's going to come in second. I think SGA is going to win it again.
Yeah.
I think but he has three MVPs and 3 second places. It's going to be 3 second places in 6 seasons with 1 playoff second round, 1 championship in his 9-year career. But I think it's going to be too much. He can't say he doesn't have help because the last 2 games, Jamal Murray has hit over 30 points. He's been the leading scorer for that team, and they had 6 players in double figures last game. So you can't tell me you don't have help when you got 6 players in double figures and you had another player, Aaron Gordon, who had 8. So you getting scoring from multiple people. Y'all
they just didn't close it. They didn't close the deal.
They were shooting over 38% from the 3-point line. They were shooting over 50% from 2. They shot well from the free throw line. So my thing is, sometimes when you have that formula going for you, you just can't. You just not as good as everybody's saying you are if you can't get over the hump when those things are happening. Their defensive efficiency actually wasn't as bad as Jalen McDaniels tried to say. Their defensive efficiency wasn't that bad. I think that he just said it because he wanted to start some shit, which I'm okay with. But I thought Ant-Man should have been the one leading that charge of talking shit. But tonight, Minnesota continues to have home court, and they remain as a home court team because if they win tonight, they still have home court. And even if they lose in game 4, but they will win game 3. And don't let them go up 2-1. Don't mess around and go 3-1 and go back to Denver. Don't let them go up 3-1 and go back to Denver. It's going to be over.
You know what, Joey? Another thing, man, this is a really good matchup. These are 2 really good teams. Unfortunately, a really good team is going to go home in the first round. I mean, we can see this series going 6 or 7 games. I mean, it's not like that Minnesota's ass. They got a really good team with a lot of playoff experience and good players. And same with Denver. So it just sucks that these 2 teams have to play in the first round. But that's what happens when you do load management all year and you end up matching up with a team that maybe you could have avoided if you'd have won more games.
Yeah, but I think this is probably their best bet because just like San Antonio with Wemby going down with the concussion, he may not play in game 3.
I don't think he will.
His status is still up in the air, and I think that, and this is, Spurs is my team, but without Wemby, they don't beat the Portland Trailblazers. They go out. And that's another team that they could face potentially in the second round is the Denver Nuggets could be playing, the San Antonio Spurs in the second round. But now you got to worry about if you're going to get out the first.
Hey, Jody, but on Wemby, man, how come this brother didn't put his arms down? He was falling. He just took a nosedive right into the floor. I was watching the video again, like, I'm talking about why he didn't try to brace himself a little bit. He just like he was diving into a swimming pool, just boom, right onto the floor. Like it looked really weird.
It looked very violent. Like
It,
I thought he was gonna go be down for the count right there, man. So I want his health to be the
oh
most
yeah, I want him
important.
to be healthy. I don't like players getting hurt, man.
So my thing is, I think that he don't need to play in game 3. I don't rush this guy back, man, because his health is more important than you getting out there playing a basketball game. I suggest he at least stay out for at least a week, like the NFL. The NFL got a week protocol. NBA only has a 48-hour protocol. And
But
I think
the Spurs, not this. I don't mean the Spurs. NBA teams, well, NBA fans, they're selfish. They don't think about that. They think players are robots. But the Spurs are a pretty smart organization. They're not going to force him to come back and play. If any doubt, I'm pretty sure he probably won't play game 3 because they're thinking long term. I mean, come on, man, you won't put this dude out here and he was just sleeping on the court just a few days ago.
But the thing about it is not the fans that came up with the 48-hour concussion protocol. So that's not the fans being selfish. That's if you hear that a rule is in place and medical doctors have to sign off on this, that a 48-hour concussion protocol, the NFL has a 7-day or a 6-day. I think is a 6-day because guys can get hurt on Sunday and play the next Sunday. So there's a six-day protocol, I believe, in the NFL, but there's only a 2-day protocol in the NBA. This ain't the fans, so you can't.
No, that's not what I mean, Jody. What I'm saying is fans are selfish. They want people to play whether they're hurt or not. They're not even thinking about this kid's health. They're thinking about we want to win a basketball game. A lot of fans feel that way. They don't really give a shit whether Wemby got a concussion. Get your ass back out there. I don't feel that way. We don't feel that way, but there are other people that do feel like that.
Evidently, the NBA feel that way. They the one came up with that stinking ass rule. I think they should automatically. I think they should automatically at least have to miss the next game.
Well, it's going to be more than 48 hours by the time he gets out. By the time game 3
it's going to be 72 hours.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, he doesn't need to play, even if he says he's okay. Even if the doctor clear him, don't play him in game 3.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Spurs are a pretty smart team. I don't see him doing it.
They wasn't that smart with Kawhi Leonard. That's why Kawhi Leonard wanted out.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the whole story about that, but I know it's a bunch of bullshit that was going on.
Last but not least,
Tony Parker tell you that was faking his injury, and if you let Tony Parker tell it.
Last but not least, we're going to talk about the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, because we're going to get right to the NFL draft. It's going to be at the top of the hour, and we'll talk about that. We'll get that started. But this is last but not least in the NBA. We got Milwaukee Bucks have hired head coach Taylor Jenkins, former Memphis Grizzlies head coach. We saw what kind of problems he had with Memphis. He did make a playoff or 2 down there. But what do you think about this hire for the Milwaukee Bucks? Is this enough to keep Giannis in Milwaukee?
No, I think Giannis wants out. I think he's going to be gone. I think they're going to be rebuilding. I think they like this young coach. I think they did him wrong in Memphis. He probably nailed the interview. If they bring this guy in, man, I think we're going to be kind of rebuilding here in Milwaukee. They'll probably start over again, probably get some good draft picks or some players for Giannis and start all over again because without Giannis on that team, they're nothing. And I think they're probably going to just start over again. I think it's get him another shot to be a head coach. I don't think he's enough to keep Giannis happy in Milwaukee.
Why do we keep doing these retreads on these coaches? I'm not saying that Taylor Jenkins was a horrible coach, but we still got young guys. Sam Cassell has not got a head coaching job. Jerry Stackhouse has not got a head coaching job. These guys been on rosters, on championship caliber rosters, but Tiago Splinter, no disrespect, already, even though he's the intern head coach, I'm pretty sure they're going to take the intern tag off of it after the way they're playing. And he deserves it. Tiago Splinter is a former San Antonio Spur. Of course, you know, the center, he played there and won the championship with the San Antonio Spurs. I think that he deserves the opportunity just like everybody else. But I don't know what's going on with Sam Cassell. I don't know what's going on with Jerry Stackhouse. Both these guys been around winning organizations, the Boston Celtics, the Golden State Warriors, the same name a few organizations that they have been a part of. And Taylor Jenkins gets another opportunity to be head coach. Not to mention, where is Adrian Griffin, the former Milwaukee Bucks coach that was 30-13 when he was removed from his job? Why haven't he got a retread? Why haven't somebody called him up? Because evidently he was pushing all the right buttons in Minnesota, and then all of a sudden because Giannis didn't want one of his brothers to play. When Adrian Griffin, like, them niggas sorry as fuck. Your brother's weak as fuck. Like, why are we keeping these dudes on the roster when we need help? And that was the clash. And then, of course, his brothers got on the roster and they got rid of him. And to be honest, Giannis really the reason why the team ain't being successful. You got your weak ass. Your brother's weak as fuck. Like, you know your brother's weak as fuck. And you got rid of a coach because the coach wanted to stand up for what he believed. The Milwaukee Bucks ain't been the same since that.
No, that's true. There's some truth to that, Jody. But I think sometimes when a superstar player like Giannis gives your coach a bad credit report, it's kind of hard to get that back on track. So I think people probably look at like maybe this dude's not that good of a coach because that was his first year, right, coaching?
Yeah, he was 30-13. He had the best record in the Eastern Conference.
He got done wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do believe the brother deserves another shot, but will he get one? I don't know. I doubt it. It would it would shock me if he got another shot.
Just like with the Bulls, I think they need to bring Tiz back as a coach. There's a lot of good coaches that are unemployed, and they keep retreading coaches that didn't have a lot of success. Not saying that Jenkins didn't have any success, but I'm talking about you're trying to keep Giannis put in Milwaukee, and I think this is not the guy that's going to do that. I think
do they want to keep Giannis? I wouldn't want to keep him.
Yes, they want to keep Giannis.
Why would they want to keep him, Jody?
Because he's the best player. Like, I mean, if that was the case, they would have traded him at the trade deadline when everybody was offering up their firstborn. It was people down there offering up their firstborn to get Giannis. The Knicks wanted Giannis. It was a lot of teams. Miami wanted Giannis. A lot of teams was willing to give up 18 first-round draft picks for Giannis. So, yeah, they must want to keep him because it was people that really gave some great deals to get him out of Milwaukee. He said that he didn't want, though. He came up, I'm going to stay. Shut the fuck up. You don't want to stay there. You really didn't believe
it. Was that your Giannis voice?
That's the night.
Do that again.
I got to stay.
It's how I come to America.
But, yeah, man, we'll see how that goes with the head coach with the Milwaukee Bucks, man. I told you it's a thing. They only win a championship every 50 years. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won a championship. Then 50 years later, Giannis won a championship. So we won't see another championship in Milwaukee for another 50 years.
Neither one of us will probably see that.
If I do see it, I'm gonna be old in a motherfucker. But what everybody came to see today was NFL draft, man. NFL draft today is about to kick off at the top of the hour, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, and they're in Pittsburgh, PA. With the Steelers Stadium, man, and a lot of people, it's a lot of energy in that stadium. We know about the first 5 picks: the Raiders, Jets, Cardinals, Titans, and Giants. But before we talk about those picks and who they potentially could pick, because we already know that Francisco Mendoza is probably going to be no one pick, and he's not there. And we already talked about that. Both of us feel very disgusted that he's not there, and I think he's gonna set a trend. They're gonna start doing the draft on Skype.
It'll be like the COVID draft. Remember the COVID when the COVID was going on?
That's what it's going to start being. But this is before we get to that. Remember, I brought up James Pearson Jr., the defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons. If you don't know, he was a guy that was dating the former. I ain't gonna name her, but she was a former WNBA player, and I guess it was some domestic. I'm not gonna get into the particulars. And there were some charges that was brought upon him. Everybody thought that his career was over because, the things that was allegations that was brought against him. Well, all those allegations have been dismissed. So he's going to seek counseling, but he will be available to play football. But more importantly, he can regain his life back. We need to talk about this, though, because when we hear things, including myself, including the media, we hear things and we all absolutely just start dogging out the man. We dog out the person that's involved. Talk to me about this. Now all charges are dropped for this young man. He can continue on with his life now. What advice or what suggestions would you give this young man going forward?
Well, first of all, Jody, just because you have enough money to get yourself out of trouble don't mean that you didn't do anything wrong. If you got the right amount of money, you can get yourself out of a situation. That doesn't mean this young brother, we don't know. We run in the room or in the house with them. It doesn't mean this brother wasn't putting his hands on this young lady. We don't really know the whole ins and outs of the whole story because we do know he has a lot of money and he can get himself out of situations because of that money. All that being said, but if he didn't do these things, he should be exonerated. But you know what? The court of public opinion, he's guilty no matter what. Every game he goes to from now on, he's gonna get the Michael Vick treatment. They're gonna, they treated Michael Vick like he was a murderer after the whole dog thing. He's gonna get that treatment every game he goes to. So no matter what, that stained on his jacket, he ain't gonna probably ever be able to get that off. They're always gonna bring that up. The Falcons can go to the Super Bowl, and that's gonna be the first goddamn question they ask him. So I don't think he's ever gonna be able to get away from that. Just clean your life up, and if he's doing anything bad, if he's having if he has issues with his anger, it seems like he does, because that was one of the issues when he was coming out of the draft last year. They said he a lot of talent, but maybe something going on with the dude's attitude a little bit. So, like I said, I don't really know what really happened. I mean, just because someone got off don't mean they didn't do anything wrong.
They got off. Oh, did he get off?
Yeah, he might have.
This is my thing. And like I said, I wasn't in the room, but this is the whole classic case of we can't be happy with the judicial system only when it goes in your favor. Now, I agree with you. We don't know what happened in the room, but evidently we got a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me that was investigating this case, and they came up with this conclusion, because it wasn't like they just said, oh, Soul said he wasn't there, let's let him go. No, they had to do investigations, and there was a lot of questioning. There was a lot of people that do this for a living, and this is what they came up with. This is not what we came up with. If he did it, absolutely go get the help that's necessary. Control your anger, whatever it is. I'm not giving like I said, I wasn't there. But what I do know is the reports say that it was dismissed. And I think both of those people, I pray for the young lady, I pray for the young man. Maybe y'all just don't need to be together. You know, we all been in those quote unquote, nowadays it's popular to say toxic relationships. I don't know where that shit came about. What's going on to my man, the mixologist? DJ 7 in the building all the way from NYC, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Big shout out to my man's right there. He shares a lot of stuff for Against the Grain Sports, man, showing mad love. So I'm always gonna show mad love in return, man. But so I just hope that he can regain his life first, then football second. Because sometimes football can be his gateway to get out of, you know, like you said, there are going to be questions, consistent questions that he's going to have to answer about, is he a woman beater? Is he a menace to the female species? And I mean, but this is what you got to deal with, because you did do something wrong. Let's keep it real. You did something wrong, but this is your second lifeline. Make good on it. Make good on it.
Yeah, we have to learn from our mistakes. None of us are perfect. As humans, we make mistakes every single day. But the mistakes you make in life, you must learn from them. Don't let them be your downfall. And if he can get that attitude, possibly he can get back on track. Like I said, I don't know the brother, and maybe he's gonna have an attitude that I got off of that motherfucker. I'm untouchable. I don't know this nigga. I don't know how his mentality is. Maybe he's still gonna go after old girl. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know what happened. It just seemed like their relationship was toxic, and they don't need to be together at all.
He said he'd been staying in touch with Nicky Barnes. But yeah, NFL draft, man. I just wanted to address that, because when he got accused of everything, it was the number one topic. Now that he's saying he's dismissed, shit is a footnote. I want to make sure that we address that immediately. That's all I want to say. But anyway, NFL draft, man. The number one pick is the Vegas Raiders. They're on the clock. They've been on the clock since the Super Bowl. Well, actually, they've been on the clock since the regular season ended, because we knew they was going to be the number one pick. But the guy that they're going to select is pretty much quarterback from the Indiana Hoosiers, the national champion, MVP, Francisco Mendoza is probably going to be number one pick, and he's not there. So talk to me about him not being there, and what do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I think, especially if you know for sure you're going to be a top pick. I mean, it's one of these guys, like, if your agent tells you, hey, man, I don't know if you're going to go in the first round. That would be kind of embarrassing being at the draft. Then they got to go hide you in the green room because they don't want the cameras in your face. But this not going to be an issue for Mendoza. He's going to show up with his nice suit on, talk to the commissioner for do a couple interviews, get back on a private jet and come back home. Or go to Vegas, wherever he's going to go after that. I just think it's a bad look for the NFL. It's 2026. Do what the fuck you want. Myself, if that was my son, I would advise him to go to the draft, because you won't miss this moment. I'm pretty sure that he might not say it, but I'm pretty sure he's going to regret it down the line.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's going to regret it. I think that it also sets a bad precedent for the NFL, because this is going to be a trend. And we know that our society is built on trends. You're going to see guys like Arch Manning or whoever potentially could be the number one quarterback or player. Like, this is supposed to be a fun moment. When you make it to the NFL, it's not about just you. It's about your family, the sacrifices that they need to make, the sacrifice your friends and people around you that had to get, supported you, getting you to practice. It's not just about you. And maybe they have made the decision collectively as a family, because his family is well off. So a lot of times, this ain't no rags to riches story where this guy came from the hood and all of a sudden he about to, put the hood on. This situation, I think, his dad's a doctor. I don't think money ever was an issue, because his dad was a doctor in the Miami area. That's where everybody thought he was going to go. Everybody thought he was going to go when he was in the transfer portal to the Miami Hurricanes. Of course, they went with Carson Beck. How did that work out for you? But anyway, I just don't like it. I think he's a fantastic kid, but I would really have liked to see him there. I don't think it should only be for the kids that come from the dirt or from the mud. This is football. It's supposed to be fun, and plus we are here for the fans. It's a lot of people that travel to Pittsburgh, and a lot of because Raider fans. I remember I was at the Hall of Fame game in Canton when I was up there, and the Raiders played, and when it was people from this when they were still in Oakland. Yeah. Came to support them all the way in Canton, Ohio. So I'm pretty sure they traveled all the way to Pittsburgh because Oakland don't really like Pittsburgh too much from the 70s. You know how they used to battle in the 70s because actually people forget that Oakland did get a championship in the 70s. So it wasn't just the Pittsburgh Steelers dominating them. But yeah, man, I think he should be there. But let's because it's 8:00. They're on the clock. They get 15 minutes. They're gonna use all 15 minutes. So let's talk about pick 2. Let's talk about pick 2 with the Jets, man. There's been a lot of speculation. There's no clear-cut number 2 for the Jets, man. Who would you really look to get at the number 2 right now with the Jets?
With the moves they've made in the offseason, Jody, they traded Jalen Johnson, I believe. Is that the defensive end from the Jets? Is his name Johnson?
Jermaine
Johnson. For some more draft picks. So I got a feeling they're probably going to replace it with David Bailey from Texas Tech. I think he's the best defensive pass rusher in this draft. I think 2 players. I think either David Bailey or the safety from Ohio State. One of the 2.
You know what? In this particular situation, David Bailey would be probably the safe pick. But if you're looking for longevity, I think Arvell Reese would be the pick at number 2. For the scheme that Aaron Glenn wants to play. Because we know David Bailey is a tremendous edge rusher, but is that going to translate over to the pros? We know that Arvell Reese is a guy that's kind of combo, that you can rush him and you can play him in coverage and you can move him to middle linebacker if necessary. I think with the Jets losing Quincy Williams in the offseason, they're going to need as much depth or players with versatility that can play multiple positions in that linebacking core. And I just feel like David Bailey is kind of like a one-trick pony. And it ain't a bad trick. Whoop that trick. No, it ain't a bad trick. But I just feel like he's just a downhill edge rusher. And a lot of time when you go get edge rusher, this is what people don't put in perspective. You're going to get an edge rusher. The Jets ain't never up in games. So what are you going to get an edge rusher for when you probably going to be down and teams are going to be running the ball against you? So I'm asking you, who is a better run stopper? Is it David Bailey or is it Arvell Reese?
Oh, definitely Arvell Reese. He's a better run stopper than David Bailey. David Bailey, I'm not saying he can't tackle, but his main objective when he plays football is to go get the quarterback. He's really good at it.
And he don't never wear no sleeves on his arms, so I don't know what that is. He don't wear no gloves or nothing. He old school 1950 style.
He gets New York. His ass gonna be wearing some gloves, some sleeves. It's cold up there.
But people forget he went to Texas Tech. But before he was at Texas Tech, he was at Stanford. So this is a guy that has been in nothing but warm weather climates. But like I said, in this particular situation, so I think that Arvell Reese, because of this is a team that didn't have any interceptions last year. This is a team that was consistently behind. And if you're consistently behind, teams are going to run the ball. I just think that Arvell Reese, in the immediate impact, will be better. I think if it was long-term, maybe Bailey long-term when they finally can get some offense, because we don't even know who's playing quarterback. But they got Geno Smith. I don't know if Geno Smith – I'm not saying he's not going to do a good job there, but I don't know if he's going to come and save the day. If Aaron Rodgers couldn't save the day, I don't know if Geno Smith can do it.
Well, I can't argue with you there, man. The Jets don't really have a direction. They come to the fork in the road and they go straight. They don't go left or right. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They just crash.
Yeah. They said, hey, Joe, they say at dead end, they just keep going. I don't know what they're doing half the time.
Hold on real quick. My man, King Minks, man, in the building, man. Happy birthday,
big dog.
Brother, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. He said, man, he's about to get on his flight. He said he's going to the Bunny Ranch. Hey, protect yourself. Make sure you got 2 condoms in your pocket. Because it's something going on out here, man. I'm just fucking.
Don't be like Lamar Odom and take 7 dick pills when you get out there either, because that's why you didn't see the documentary on Lamar Odom, bro. That's why he overdosed. It wasn't the coke. This dude took 7 or 8 dick pills. They said on the box, Jody said you're supposed to take 1 a day. He took 7 of them within a couple of hours.
Yo, hey, that's crazy work, man. But hey, be safe, man, out there in Vegas, man. Do your thing, man. He said he ain't going raw there. He said I just made. He just made it. Anyway, hey, be safe, my boy.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so we're talking about the Jets. So now we go to number 3 pick, and we talk about the Arizona Cardinals. Like I said, my suggestion was them trying to potentially pry that number 1 pick away from the Vegas Raiders to get a quarterback over there, which Mendoza would have been a good look for those guys. What do you think that Arizona, because they've been looking at the running back now. All of a sudden, he's your guy, your Heisman. Jeremiah Love has been a hot commodity for getting drafted as high as number 3 to the Arizona Cardinals, which no running back has done that since Saquon Barkley was number 2 to the Giants. What do you think that Arizona goes with that 3rd pick?
I think Arizona's probably open for business. I think there's a possibility they might make a trade there. They put that out there. They're thinking about drafting Jeremiah Love. I think to try to get those teams, entice those teams to maybe move up and get that 3rd pick and take this guy. But the smart football move would be to take Arvell Reese. That's what I would do. But I don't know if Arizona's a smart football team, Jody. They don't even have a quarterback. I do believe they have Jacoby Brissett, and he's holding out for more money. So, and I guess he has the right to do that, Jody. If there's no other quarterbacks on the roster, he goes, hey, y'all got to pay me. So I think, honestly, I don't trust Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to draft Jeremiah Love and possibly ruin his brother's career. But I think Arizona's going to draft Jeremiah Love.
I think they go Jeremiah Love. And to be honest, I think Jeremiah Love can come and be an instant impact. I know a lot of people were talking about they need an offensive line. Well, the Raiders didn't have an offensive line. And Ashton Jeanty still led all rookies in rushing with over 900 and I believe 65 yards rushing. So I think with Jeremiah Love for sure, man, I believe that he will be the guy at that position because I don't think nobody's going to trade with them in that pick because what are you going to give up for the number 3 pick in a weak draft? I mean, and it's weak compared to other drafts. I think you're still going to find a lot of studs in this draft. I don't like when people say it's going to be a weak draft. It ain't never a weak draft.
You have no idea. You have no idea what these guys are going to do.
Yeah, it's never a weak draft, but nevertheless, man, I'm agree with you. I think Jeremiah Love will be the guy with the number 3 pick. So now we go to the Titans. So let's say David Bailey's off the board. Let's say Arvell Reese is off the board potentially, and Jeremiah Love, of course, Francisco Mendoza potentially is off the list. So we get to 4 to the Tennessee Titans. What do you like with the Tennessee Titans? What do you like there?
I actually would like to see Jeremiah Love with the Titans, but if he's going to be gone, I would probably go Carnell Tate. Because they need to get their quarterbacks and weapons, or maybe the offensive lineman from Miami. They need one of those two because they need to protect the quarterback. I know last year you didn't want them to draft my man from Miami because they didn't have protection for the guy. But if you draft that lineman from Miami, I think that'll really help their team out. But I think I would go either Carnell Tate or the lineman from Miami.
You know, when I looked at this roster and I look at the number 4 pick and I was like, what do they need? They definitely do need a wide receiver. They need help out there. They can't bank on Calvin Ridley. He's been wishy-washy since the betting incident when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. He had some flashes in the pan where he looks like the old version of himself, but more than likely I don't know. And then he's a little older.
Yeah,
he's a little long in the tooth. I like to say. So when I look at them, and I think that Jeremiah Love will be off the board. If the Jets go David Bailey, Arvell Reese will be the ideal candidate to go there with Robert Salas, who we know what he did with Fred Warner. We know what he did with Greenlaw. We know what he done with the 49er defense. We know that's how he got the head coaching job with the Jets. And of course, this is how he got the head coaching job with Tennessee with the defensive prowess that he had with the 49ers. So I can see them going with Arvell Reese if David Bailey has already been selected. So I can say Arvell Reese with the 4th pick, so I agree with you on that one. At 5, here comes the Giants. And the Giants, we know, traded and got the 10th pick as well, but they got rid of Dexter Lawrence. They feel like they got the quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they do with that 5th pick right there?
You know what? I hate to say it, but I really do like what the Giants have done in the offseason with the players they picked up. Of course, the coach where he has experience. I think they're going to go wide receiver right here. I can see them going to Arizona State wide receiver at the number 5 pick. Because they got the 10th pick also. I think they go get another playmaker on the outside to go along with the guy they got drafted a few years ago from LSU. He's coming off an injury, but I think that's what they're going to do with number 5 pick.
Yeah, because you said they got Malik Neighbors who come off injury, and you're looking at them going for Jordan Tyson.
Yeah,
that sounds really good, but at this pick, I don't know if that's a value pick at 5. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go a little bit against the grain on that pick. I think you go Caleb Downs with this pick right here. I think Caleb Downs is a game changer on the defense side of the ball. Offensively, they did lose Waddell Robertson. They did lose him in the offseason. A guy that I think they should have resigned. They're gonna regret not having him in house. and I still think they also need a tight end somewhere down the line. They got to get somebody. They got a tight end on the roster, but they need a premier tight end on the roster. So at this pick right here, I think I go Caleb Downs at 5. I think Caleb Downs comes in. He's a difference maker on day one. Like I said, even though he's going to be a rookie, he has a lot. When I look at it, he has a lot of veteran. Like he carries himself like a 5 or 10 year veteran when he was at Ohio State. So I think he comes in with that no nonsense in that you're gonna be watching porn, New York Jets, Giants. I'm gonna be watching porn in the locker room. But yeah, Caleb Downs with the 5th pick. So now we go to the Cleveland Browns. Now we know there's been a lot of rumors potentially that the Cowboys would trade this 6th pick and try to the Cowboys move up and trade with the Browns. The Browns will get 12th pick, and I think they would also get their 20th pick, I believe, just to get. I would love to do that if I was Cleveland. But talk to me about this. If Cleveland stays at 6, what do you like?
Cleveland goes O-line here. I think I need to beef up there. I know they made some trades in the offseason with Houston to get their offensive line better. I think they improved their offensive line. That's how you build your team. I don't give a fuck what no one say. When it comes to football, I'm old school, baby. I got an offensive line, defensive line. I build everything that's outside of that. I think they get an offensive lineman. I think that's what they're going to get right here at the 6th pick.
You know, I'm a Browns fan. I'm going to go against the grain with the offensive line at this particular pick. And this is why, because they went and addressed their offensive line in the offseason. They went and got 2 good guards. They got a good tackle in Howard. They got DeJuan Jones, who was they starting right tackle. They could move Howard to the left, and then they was able to pick up a center. So I think if you brought a rookie in, he would have to sit. And I don't see a left tackle that is premier in this draft. Every tackle I see in the draft are right tackles. So right tackles are very important, but right tackles are not valued at the 6th pick, in my opinion. Even the kid from Utah, the kid from Miami, the name 2 guys, both of those guys are on the right side. So if I'm looking for left tackle help, like I said, I will move Howard to the left tackle, the one Tyus Howard that they got from the Houston Texans, or potentially play Jones over there. Jones played some left tackle before he got hurt. His main position is the right tackle position. I think if you put Jones back at the right tackle position, where I think he is going to have more success, move Howard to the left side and maybe look deeper in the draft to get a tackle. Because right now, the Cleveland Browns have to score points, and Carnell Tate has to be the guy we go with. Carnell Tate is the guy you don't want to pass up on Ohio State wide receiver. It's been 100% for 100% with wide receivers at Ohio State the last few years. And I think Shedeur Sanders needs as many weapons as he possibly can have. Jenkins, we got Fannin at the tight end position. We lost David Njoku. But I think you got to get some offensive help with that pick. But I'm gonna throw a curveball at you before we continue. Throw a curveball at you. I know that George Pickens just said he's gonna sign his tenure to the franchise. What if the Cowboys say, "Hey, we give you George Pickens and one of our draft picks, you give us 6th pick"? If that's the case, if I'm Cleveland, I take that immediately.
Yep, I'm not gonna give you my. Oh fuck no! I wouldn't give you my top 1st round pick. I give him 6. No, I'm saying if I'm Dallas, I'm going to give you this wide receiver, and you're going to give me.
Oh, yeah, I'll take the 20th pick. I would take.
Okay, I would do that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll take the 20th pick and George Pickens, but we'll still have their 20th pick and 24th pick, and we would already address the wide receiver position that we would need. So that would address those things that we need if that was the case. And that's still up in the air. Have they made the selection for the 1st pick?
Yeah, Mendoza have been picked already.
Okay, so now is Jets on the clock right now?
Jets on the clock. They got 4 minutes left to make a selection.
Okay, we'll talk about that. So let's go back to that 1st pick that was selected. We kind of knew that Mendoza was going to be the number 1 pick, but this is my problem with Mendoza. So this is the problem. This is a classic case of your boy Kirk Cousins going to the same similar situation that he was at with the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. When he was with the Atlanta Falcons, he was the guy. He signed a 4-year with $180 million deal, and then by his surprise, they draft Michael Penix Jr. So he goes to Vegas. He signs a 5-year with $172 million, whatever. And I know it's a lot of language in there that potentially is not going to be. He might can get cut after 1 year, whatever. The fact of the matter is he still got a whole hell of a lot of money, and they drafted the quarterback. What do you think about that, man? What's up with that?
Well, honestly, he's a bridge quarterback with the Vegas Raiders. He's really technically only a 1-year contract. I think he's going to start. I think the Raiders are going to go old school, draft a guy early in the draft and sit him on the bench. You know, we're not used to that nowadays. We're used to now guys getting drafted, they play right away. But I think the Raiders are going to slow drip this thing. I think they're gonna let Kirk Cousins go out there and take all the licks from in front of this bad offensive line and let the rookie sit and learn on the bench. He might eventually play this year, but I think going into camp, unless Mendoza go out there and just really shows out, I think this is going to be Captain Kirk's team beginning of the season.
This is my problem right here. I'm gonna tell you what my problem is. First of all, Mendoza is not a young quarterback. So it's not like he's come in, not like he's raw, and ain't like he's 19. I think Mendoza is 23. I think he's 23 years of age. He's played all 4 years of college because he was he's graduated from college. So it's not like he's coming into like when Justin Fields came to the league, he was like 20 years old. It wasn't like when Zach Wilson came to the league. He's not really young, according to quarterbacks that we've seen the past couple of years. He played all 4 years. He started a ton of games. He started a ton of games. So I don't like this move with a guy that's already played enough games in college to satisfy him playing enough games and to be a starter in the NFL. Kirk Cousins is a guy we know can light it up. And then with some of those weapons that the Raiders have, they may go out there. Kirk Cousins, we know, can light it up in the regular season. So what if Kirk Cousins go out there and competes and puts the Raiders at, let's say, after 10 games, they 6-4? Do you still replace him with Mendoza?
Maybe not this season, but that's trade bait, brother. If he goes out there and plays well, we can trade his ass in the offseason and get some more draft picks to hit Mendoza. I'm not saying Mendoza is going to be the answer long term, but neither is Kirk Cousins. Come on, bro. We know Kirk Cousins, he has his moments. He can have his German Lynn moments from time to time, but long term, Kirk Cousins, it ain't going to get it done in Sin City long term.
Now, if there was a situation where it was like a Russell Wilson deal, 1 year deal, Jameis Winston type of deal, then I would understand. But they signed this guy for 5 years, $172 million. And I know the language in there is probably some lingo in there that, because I think he gets $20 million this year guaranteed no matter what happens.
Yeah, but that's it though. That's only guaranteed money on this deal.
I get that, but you still signed this guy for 5 years. And if this guy comes out and play like gangbusters, and if you play in this 7 games deep and they 5-2, and this motherfucker is leading the NFL in touchdown passes, and all of a sudden if he's completely 100% healthy from his Achilles, and he doesn't let Mendoza get on the field, and then now you're sitting where you could have traded this pick in Mendoza. Like I said, you should have traded this pick to the Jets or the Cardinals. They're going to regret not making this trade to those guys, and the reason why I say they're going to regret it, not saying that he's not going to win. Mendoza could go and win 5 Super Bowls. But to the naked eye, with all these free agents that they brought in, bringing in some more draft picks to play with these guys they got, I mean, Raiders could have been back, man. We'll see.
But Jody, we're talking about Kirk Cousins. You do know we're talking about the same dude, right? That everywhere he's gone in free agency, he shit the bed. Everywhere he's gone, brother. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't had his moments here and there in Minnesota. Did he win any playoff games? One, maybe.
He got one.
It went down to Atlanta, stole some money for a hot minute, didn't do anything down there. I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
But I think you're missing what I'm saying. If they play Kirk Cousins this year, if you trade it with the Jets or the Cardinals, both of those teams are going to be bad. So guess what? There's a better quarterback in next year's draft than Francisco Mendoza. Nobody even had Mendoza being a top fucking round quarterback last year. When the year started, nobody had this motherfucker going number 1 overall. Nobody. If a person said they had him, I won't show yourself. Because nobody even knew who the fuck he was at Cal. So what I'm saying is you trade the Jets would have gave up 2 first-round picks. You could have had their first-round pick this year, and you could have got next year's first-round pick.
Maybe those other teams weren't that high on them either then.
But that's my thing. Maybe they were. We don't know. I would have took a little less. I would have took a first and a third rounder if you can get. And I wouldn't even took a first round this year. I took a first rounder next year, or no, fuck it. Flip me picks, and then because I think Ty Simpson may be better than him.
He could be. He just was on a worse team. But I got you. I feel you on that, Joe. I know last year you were saying how good Ty Simpson was, but I just think that the offensive line, the running game, really let him down last year.
So did the Jets make their pick it?
Yeah, they took David Bailey.
So David Bailey goes number 2. What do you think about that? You picked David Bailey. I don't necessarily agree with this pick. Not saying David Bailey is not a stud, but once again, the reason why I say it is they are never up in fucking games.
But
So
I think it's a safer pick though, Jody, than taking Arvell Reese. I like Arvell Reese. I think he's going to be a talent in this league. But I think you know what you get from David Bailey, and I think these teams they're like, hey man, we know this what this kid can give us. But maybe they don't really know how to deal with Arvell Reese.
I mean, I dig it, and you won't say if you. But my thing, if you're gonna go say pick, then we reverse and we flip the deck and you go get Caleb Downs. If you want to go safe, we know, and nobody's guaranteed to do nothing.
Oh,
we
no.
didn't ain't nobody guaranteed to do shit.
No.
We done seen people we thought was can't miss draft picks, and we thought Ryan Leaf was a fucking can't miss draft pick, and that motherfucker, you saw what he did. So I don't.
Indianapolis actually thought about drafting him too, man.
But you know what's crazy? Maybe he went to a different organization. You got to understand, when Peyton Manning got to Indianapolis, he had 2 Hall of Famers already on that team. He had Marshall Faulk and Marvin Harrison Jr. when he walked into, and he had Glenn, which probably Glenn is probably kin to you. But remember they had the left tackle.
Yeah, they did.
The left tackle Glenn. He's a Pro Bowl player, so it wasn't like he walked into a stadium that was empty.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to think how immature this guy was. When he came out of Washington State, he was very immature. I remember when he got drafted by the Chargers, they said he showed up to his introduction press conference drunk, smelled like alcohol because he was in Vegas partying. They knew right then, oh shit, we got a fucking problem here.
But and I get that, but that's where veterans come along. At the time, all the veterans on
Junior Seau on that team.
But that was a defensive side. They had Rodney Harrison on that team. But you need veterans on the offensive side. I don't even know if they had anybody on the offensive side that would have been able to really help that young man out. Do me a favor. When there's a pick, can you let me know so we'll talk about that? But gotcha. Yeah, David Bailey, and I think David Bailey is a guy that he's going to get you 8-9 sacks in his rookie campaign. But you just got rid of a guy that was giving you 10 sacks when healthy, Jermaine Johnson. So I don't understand. I don't sometimes understand that when you already got a guy, maybe contracts or whatever, but you had a guy that gave you double-digit sacks, and now you're looking for this guy to give you double-digit sacks. Mm-hmm. Do you think that David Bailey is a guy that can be, the guy? I ain't gonna say he got to be Michael Parsons or anything like that, but do you think this is a guy in his first 5 years can have three years of double-digit sacks?
Well, Jody, the guy had 15 sacks last year in college football. That's pretty impressive.
College football? You said college?
Yeah.
You said college?
That's pretty impressive, though, bro. 15 sacks is a lot.
It's very
impressive. I know that's kind of normal in the NFL, but college football player getting 15 sacks is pretty good. I think he's going to be legit in the next level.
And you do realize he's only about 245 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a little different. When you got to go against left tackles and right tackles that stand in 330 pounds, they're fucking 6'6", 6'7". It's a little different beast than playing in the Big 12.
But speed has a lot to do at the defensive end position. I understand you want to have some freaky. You want to have some size to you, but you also want to have some good speed. A good defensive end is built like a small forward in the NBA.
Okay, name me a defensive end that is 245 outside of Michael Parsons.
I don't know. I don't know these brothers' weights. I don't know. But I do know. You don't have. You're not an interior D lineman, so I don't think you have to be as big as the D lineman to be.
I get that, but I'm about to give you what this is what I'm talking about. You look at the elite edge rushers.
Oh shit! Hey, Jordan, pick his in. Goddamn, Arizona took Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love, yeah. Okay.
Shit. The love is gone.
But real quick with David Bailey, you got a situation with David Bailey, so where you're not going to see the elite edge rushers a little bit heavier. Myles Garrett, he's 270, 280 sometimes on a good day. He built like a fucking Greek god. TJ Watt is a little on the heavier side. Max Crosby, TJ Hawkinson. That's tight end. I'm sorry, Trey Hendrickson. Mm-hmm. Those guys are more on the bigger side. Joey Bosa's of the world, Nick Bosa's of the world, Khalil Mack's of the world. These guys are pretty much 260, 270 that are elite edge rushers. I'm not saying he can't be an elite edge rusher, but he's going to have to come in there and play like gangbusters, man.
Well, maybe he can do it, man. I mean, these guys you named that they are 20, 30 pounds heavier than him, but they also a lot of those guys besides the freak Myles Garrett had a lot of injury concerns over the years too. They are a little bit bigger, but they do get hurt a lot. It seems like, and maybe that's an issue in some of these players.
I mean, it could injuries, but we all know that injuries
Sure.
are.
Can't believe the fucking Cardinals. I had a feeling they were gonna take his ass too.
So we thinking right now the Titans are probably gonna go Arvell Reese, probably pretty much. But let's talk about Jeremiah.
They might go Cornell Tate, Jody.
Let's see. We'll talk about that, but let's talk about Jeremiah Love going to Arizona. What does that do for the Arizona Cardinals, who are now still looking for a quarterback? They traded away Kyler Murray in the offseason, and we already stated that Jacoby Brissett is looking for more money. Mm-hmm. They do got Marvin Harrison Jr. We want to see if he's going to be ready for year 3. Mm-hmm. They got the kid, I think his name is Mike Wilson, the wide receiver from Stanford. And we know they got the all-world tight end. Potentially, a lot of people say he's arguably the best. Him and Brock Bowers. We talking about Trey McBride. Guy caught over 114 passes, I believe, last year. So what does Jeremiah Love bring? Is he an instant impact on this offense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and they can have a dual threat running back situation. They did pick up the running back from the Atlanta Falcons, the guy that was sharing the load there. So they can definitely do their thing there.
Sharing the load?
Sharing the load. They were sharing one load in Atlanta. So now he can share the load in Arizona. And they still got the veteran running back there that's been there for some years. Can't think of his name. He got hurt last year. He got hurt last year, but he's kind of towards the end of his career, I think.
But they still got Trey Benson. I thought Trey Benson was supposed to be a guy that
he's still there too, but he got hurt also last year.
I don't know.
I think, like I said, the quarterback. I think they this right here helps them sell tickets. Honestly, because I think only people are going to be going to Arizona games is when they play a home game against the division team, the 49ers, another team of the division. Other than that, who the hell wants to go to Arizona Cardinals game? Because they haven't really had nothing to really cheer about. So I got a feeling this is going to help them sell tickets. And look for them, Jody, to move back into the first round and possibly take Ty Simpson.
I can definitely see that, but I'm gonna see it. I think a team is gonna snatch Ty Simpson up.
You think so? Before that,
I think because the Jets got the 16th pick, so the Jets can potentially go get Ty Simpson with the 16th pick. Wow, the Minnesota Vikings, if they're not sold on their quarterback room, maybe they can slide up and grab you. We know at 21, Pittsburgh Aaron Rodgers haven't gave them any decisions. So if they do come back in, they're gonna have to trade with some of these other guys up here, because it's gonna be. I don't think he makes it to a later pick in the first round. They're gonna have to really trade up to get this guy. And it's some teams that I can see sneaking up and getting Ty Simpson, because getting Ty Simpson at 16 is a value pick.
You think so?
Value pick. Yes, that's absolutely a value pick, because he's potentially the best quarterback in this draft.
Well, just because you're the best quarterback in this draft don't mean you're good.
No, but I mean, you're going to the Jets. If you go to the Jets, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Good luck, brother. Good luck if you're going to the Jets.
But you got to start somewhere, right? We can't keep saying
that's true.
Can't keep saying the Jets and Cleveland are bad destinations for quarterbacks. At some point, somebody is going. If you go to Vegas and you gamble enough, you go win at least one goddamn time. And all you need to do is win one time, because you got a lot of organizations that only got one quarterback in their whole fucking existence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody is not as fortunate as the Green Bay Packers, the San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals. Shit, the Baltimore Ravens, they had two awesome quarterbacks. Everybody's not that fortunate to do that.
I think sometimes these teams put these players in bad situations, man, and quarterbacks, and I think they set them up to fail, bro. I mean, they give them Kool-Aid, they give them no sugar. They wanted to make lemonade, they ain't got no fucking lemons. You know what I mean? Sometimes they put these players in situations. Well, we gave him a shot and he didn't get it done. Well, fuck, look what you gave this dude to work with.
And I'm glad you said that. That's why I feel like Jameis Winston was a prime example of bullshit. Now, I know he threw a lot of interceptions, but if he's a guy that coming out of Florida State, he had won a national championship. And people forget that he won a national championship with the Florida State Seminoles. And he won the fucking Heisman. He was doing this shit then. He was a gunslinger then. But you got to think about that Florida State team was so loaded that he didn't have to go out there and make a play. So when you go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he felt like he had to make a play every play. And then it's crazy. okay, he throws the 30 interceptions. Like, we act like we never seen 30 interceptions from a quarterback before.
Hey, Cornell Tate went to the Titans, bro.
Oh wow, Cornell Tate.
They need another weapon though.
That's major. But just going back to that thought, so we seen this with Jameis Winston. Then he throws the 30 inch. We act like we never seen a quarterback throw 30 interceptions. Vinny Testaverde.
It's happened.
Vinny Testaverde did it. Peyton Manning threw 28 his rookie year. Brett Favre threw 30 plus interceptions. But it's like now that Jameis Winston, a young quarterback, did it, we need to just sell stock on this guy. He really never had a starting job after that season. The Saints tried to flirt with that when Drew Brees got hurt, and of course Cleveland started him a couple games. But his career has really been downslided since then. But the next year in Tampa Bay, they go get Tom Brady, and they bring Tom Brady everything that he possibly could have ever wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like you said, you can't just give somebody bread without no peanut butter and jelly. You just make something out of it. But let's talk about Cornell Tate going to the Titans, man. What do you think about this, man? What dynamic does this bring to the Titans?
The quarterback needs some more playmakers, and he can only help the team. We already know the guy went to Ohio State as a wide receiver. You know he's going to be a dog. He might not be elite level, but he's probably the most pro-ready wide receiver. I know there may be some other players, wide receiver in this draft that might be a little bit more talented, but I think this kid is ready for the pros. I think he's going to really help out the Tennessee Titans in the next level.
I think so too. I think he's a guy, man. He's a 6'4" guy. He runs routes extremely well. He catches the ball in traffic. We know that last year Cam Ward had a problem with taking sacks to the face. I think that this is a guy that can win a lot of one-on-ones. Teams are not going to be able to blitz the Titans this year with Cornell Tate on the roster because he's going to be able to. He's a guy that's really good after the catch too. I think that's a very underrated attribute that he had. He didn't have to do a lot at Ohio State because he was always running so wide open at Ohio State. Now that, of course, the window's going to be closed a little bit more, I just think Tate catches the ball well in traffic as well. If you see a lot of his catches, the catch he had against Wisconsin, where you see him catch it with his hands, it wasn't a body catch. I think that Cam Ward, this is going to be his best friend. Now I think right now they need to go get another bona fide tight end. Maybe they could try to get that tight end Sadiq out of Oregon. I don't know if he's going to be available because I think
he's going to be a first round pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the Titans flirt with trying to get back into the first round to go get him because I'm looking at teams that could potentially pick him up. It could be. It won't surprise me if the Commanders kick the tires on him.
Now we just picked up the tight end from the Titans, the one that was there.
No, he's not better than this guy. And then you got to think a lot of teams are playing two tight ends.
We got 2 or 3. I think I can see maybe the Chiefs picking him up. I can see he's a tight end. He also got wide receiver skills. That kid from Oregon, he's legit, man. I know he played for the Oregon Ducks, but he's actually a really good football player.
You got my man Richard Norvell in the building. He said, "What's up to the fella? What's going on?" Do the Patriots? The Patriots got to pick. They don't pick until very, very late. I don't think they need a lot, especially with them about to land AJ Brown in a couple weeks. AJ Brown will probably be a.
Oh yeah.
They said they're gonna sign him before June the 1st. I don't know what the significance.
They said because if the Eagles trade him before June 1st, the cap hit is $40 million on them. But if they wait till after June 1st, it dropped down to like 18 to 20 million. So it's a smart move to wait to June. I always wonder why I had to look it up and say, "Oh, now it makes sense."
So now we looking at the Giants at 5. We know they got 2 top 10 picks. Do they go Reese or do they go Downs with this 5th pick right here?
I'm hoping they go Reese because I want Downs to drop to my Commanders. So I'm thinking that, but I think they're going to go Downs. I think that's probably going to pick her at number 5. You know, my man, the head coach from the new head coach, he's always had some good safeties, and I think he's going to keep that trend going. I'm gonna be honest with you. Cleveland right now should be ecstatic because we're not even talking Sonny Styles. And I know Cleveland needs wide receiver help. I know Cleveland, like you said, you may mention they can use some offensive line help. I think we got the 24 pick. You can still get a value pick at the 24 pick with an offensive lineman. And I know we need offensive help. But if Reese or Downs is on the board, which they will be at 6, you got to snatch one of those guys up.
and we can figure out everything else. If Reese is still available or Downs is still available, you cannot pass up either one of these kids. And I know you want to get. They said the Browns trade the pick to the Chiefs. Young Chris said they trade the pick to the Chiefs.
Who the hell the Chiefs gonna take?
I don't know. Maybe they're interested in getting a receiver. Maybe they go Malachi Lemon.
That's kind of high. That's a lot to give up to get him.
I'm all for it. I'm the Browns fan. We need as many picks as we possibly can. So I'm not mad about the Browns giving up that 6th pick. Now, what are the what are the gist of that pick? Did we get the 9th pick now? And did we get another future pick? How is that going? You know,
look that up. Surprised I didn't get my report on my phone on that.
And right now, who on the clock right now? So,
the Giants. The Giants got their pick is in. They just haven't announced it yet. They had commercial right now.
And that's the thing too. Like I said with Cleveland, I was really excited to see if they could have potentially got one of those, especially Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs, if he ain't selected, because sometimes even when you got a good defense, you don't get an opportunity to, to exploit that defense or whatnot. So hold on just a second, man. Go keep talking.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man, to see what the Giants do here. They can they got 2 picks in the next 5 picks. So here at their 5th pick, I think they're gonna go defense again, or possibly they might go wide receiver with this 5th pick. They hold all the cards right now in these first 10 picks. So I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go Caleb Downs right here with the 5th pick. I think maybe one of those other wide receivers they maybe covered might still be there at 10. So I think right now, I think they're gonna go Downs. That will probably be the smart pick for my money. I don't want him to go there. I want him to go with DC, but if I'm the Giants, that's who I would take. He's the leader on the defense. He does everything for your team. The Giants would be smart to pick this kid.
I mean, I'm agreeing with that. Like I said, I'm gonna see if I can stay on this one, so I can. Reason why I'm trying to do it so I can still maintain. Looking at these draft picks that's coming in, I want to be able to know what's going on. Did you get? Did they put the pick in yet?
No, not yet. Oh, they're coming back from commercial right now. They're gonna make an announcement right now. So let me see.
Young Chris said he don't have any details yet on that trade right now.
Crazy, bro.
So I think, but I do want to say to Cleveland, I think they still had a 9th pick though, right? I would think Cleveland moved at 9. I don't like how ESPN got this. They only got you can only see the 6 and 7 pick. I need to see
all of them, right? They should be scrolling.
I want to see the full thing. But,
there we go.
I'm trying to update the board as he said, there you go. He said the Browns get the 9th, 74th, and 148th. I like that because those picks, Cleveland has hit a lot of late round picks with the Browns. And we can always use because the 74 pick is a 3rd round pick, and I think the 148th is a 5th round pick. So
in the 3rd round, you can still get a really good player in the 9th. You can still get a really good player in the 3rd round.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I think they were probably disappointed that they didn't get Carnell Tate, and they probably still thinking they can get Jordan Tyson with that 9th pick and pick him up before the Giants can pick him up. But I think that right now with the team, so we looking at what's available.
Here we go.
I think
the Giants may make their pick right here. Orville Reese, brother. Yeah, they went with Reese. Yeah, Caleb Downs, come on down to DC, baby.
Reese. And I don't. Do you think possibly Kansas City would go with do you think maybe that's the reason why they moved up to potentially get Caleb Downs?
It could be, Joey. Now that I think about it, if you think about this, because they lost a lot in the secondary in the offseason. They traded one player, they lost one in free agency in their secondary. They got to rebuild their secondary. And so that possibly might be the pick here. I think they have to go defense. I think so. I think they're going to go defense. The Giants got themselves another dog. When the Giants are doing a great great job in his offseason, man, picking up the rebuilding their roster on the fly. I'm impressed with what they've done this year. I don't know if it's all going to work, but I like the moves they've made. Hate to say it since they're in my division, but they have done a great job this offseason.
I mean, and I think that getting Reese is an impact player, but this is the issue that I have with picking out Reese. You had Thibodeau, you just picked Abdul Carter last year with the 3rd pick, and you still got Brandon Burns. And now you add another linebacker. Unless you're looking to move to a 3-4 defense, somebody, and we know that Thibodeau has been arguably the odd man out or going to be the odd man out. Abdul Carter, he watching porn. He did not have a good rookie year. And I know I keep bringing it up, but if you're watching porn at home, I don't care. But when you're watching porn in a meeting, that's an issue, man. So
I agree, Jody, but I think that the coaching staff is going to be a little bit more focused on what they were before. I think that they'll get it right. The kid's got a lot of talent, and Orville Reese is going to add to that defense. You can never have enough playmakers on defense, bro.
Not when they can't get on the field because they all play the same position.
Yeah, I agree, but they've been talking about getting rid of that other kid, the one you just mentioned a minute ago. They've been talking about trading him for a couple of years now. It seems like it.
I wouldn't be now. That's a situation where Cleveland need to kick the tires and potentially bring him up there because we have yet to get a counterpart opposite of Myles Garrett. And I think that Thibodeau, we done tried with a ton of players, and it just hasn't panned out opposite of Myles Garrett. You would think if somebody that can really get you double-digit sacks, get a lot of single coverage because Myles Garrett is getting double and triple team, you would think people would love to play offset of Myles Garrett, but we have yet to be able to do it. Captain says Downs is still on the board. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I thought Downs would definitely be a top 5 pick. And now that the Browns don't have this pick, if I was the Browns, I don't know. I think I would have stayed and got Downs. So
the Chiefs already know who they're picking. Their pick is in quick. As soon as they got their shot, they knew. So
who
they
just
didn't make an announcement yet, but it's probably gonna be Caleb Downs with my luck. That's probably what he'll probably go on to the Chiefs.
I don't think so. I don't think they moved up to get Downs.
Well, do you think they move up to get a wide receiver this high in the draft?
I think because you got to think the Saints could use a wide receiver, the Commanders could use a wide receiver, the Browns could use a wide receiver, the Giants can use a wide receiver. So
yeah, but who would they take at the 6th pick this high, man? You're giving up
Jordan. You just said it. Jordan Tyson is a guy.
Yeah, possibly.
Jordan Tyson is everybody's darling at this point. So. I mean,
I don't know. I keep saying that, but the Chiefs, man, I don't know what they need another wide receiver. They got a lot of weapons. The Chiefs.
Well, okay, they're not producing, and the reason why you don't know if Rice is gonna fucking play or he's gonna be playing bumper cars on the fucking highway. They don't have Hollywood Brown. Remember, they don't have Hollywood Brown anymore. He is part ways. He's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Name somebody that's an effective receiver. You can't go Juju Smith-Schuster. He had one good year.
That young brother, the one that the mama you trying to get your hands on. You know who I'm speaking of, right?
You already know Xavier Worthy. But see, Xavier Worthy he's a gadget guy to me. He's not a bona fide wide receiver he's a guy you put in the game to potentially take the top off the defense. But if you look at his numbers going into year 3, that's all he is to me. I think he's a guy he's a game changer, but if they get, okay, you can put him in the slot. Xavier Worthy, his natural position should be the slot. If you can go with Rice on the outside, and if you can get a Jordan Tyson on the other side, and you still got Kelsey who signed I believe a 3-year deal.
Hey, they drafted a corner, Jody.
Who they go with?
Delaney from the LSU.
But he would have been there at 9 though.
I don't know, because there was talk that Washington taking him too, so. I said, remember I talked about them losing all those corners in free agency? They need to get to more corners. They needed corners. So this was.
This is one situation I'm happy they did that because Cleveland still can get a receiver at 9. But I'm looking like, why did they move up? Because I don't think it was nobody that was going to take Delaney this early, and I think Delaney is going to be a stud. But let's say somebody did take Delaney. McCoy would have still been available out of Tennessee. So I'm kind of confused with that pick. I'm happy that they did it, but I'm a little confused with that pick. Talk to me about Mansour Delaney.
That was the guy I thought maybe Washington was going to take. I thought Caleb Downs was going to be gone. He's the best corner in this draft. Terrible LSU team last year, but this kid's legit. LSU, they produce really good defenders, just like a lot of these other SEC schools. I think he's going to be legit. And Kansas City, he's going to get great coaching there. They've always had some good shutdown corners. Not big names, but had some really good shutdown corners the last couple of years there, and I think he's going to fit right in there and help that defense stay on top. The defense has been good for some years. I think he's going to really help them out.
Y'all absolutely are going with Caleb Downs.
I think so. The pick is in already. I think that's what we're going to get to.
I think this is definitely a home run right here with Downs, man. I think I don't see how he stayed on the board this long. I think people are really making a mistake not picking up Caleb Downs. I think I've
heard rumors, Joe, that he has issues with his knee. Is that I don't know. All these.
He didn't miss a game in Ohio State.
I know, bro. When they get you to some of these camps and they start poking at your body and they like you might have a little ligament damage. I don't know. I've heard that the last couple of weeks that maybe he had an issue with his knee. Maybe that's why he's not drafted yet. But I don't know.
Chris said Adam Scheffler said they're not gonna move Thibodeau from the Giants.
Yeah, but they can say that, but don't mean they won't do it.
I'm like, but you got Brandon Burns. This guy is a 13, 14 plus sack guy.
He's a middle linebacker though, isn't he?
No, Brandon Burns is an edge rusher. Remember they got him from Carolina.
Yeah,
he's an edge rusher. And then you look on the other side, you still got Abdul Carter. You got to get him in. He only had a sack and a half last year. He couldn't even get 2 sacks.
Yeah, these 2 balls in practice. He's watching that damn porno.
Only thing I can say, because Sonny Styles is another guy that's on the board too. That
still there.
Sonny Styles is still on the board. So Dallas is looking like shit. We don't even got to move at the 12th position because Sonny Styles. Because we got to look at it. The Saints are not going to pick Sonny Styles. They still got DeMario Davis. I don't think they go Sonny Styles. He said, Jody, listen to the sports chat with Joey. He's quicker. He's saying he's getting his picks. I think that they're not going to get him. The Browns are not going to get Sonny Styles. So the Giants, after already getting Arvell Reese, they're not going Sonny Styles. And the Dolphins are not. They got 2 studs at the linebacker position, so they're not going to go.
Do they? Who are the Dolphins have?
Oh, they got the kid that Jordan, the kid that led the NFL in tackles.
The Dolphins?
Yeah, the Dolphins got 2 studs, Dotson and Jordan. Yeah, you got to watch Dolphin games, man.
I don't know what the fuck the Dolphins gonna do this year.
They got some. Those 2 guys with studs on defense, so I can see the Dolphins are not going to pick up no Sonny Styles. So the Cowboys are sitting pretty and ain't got to make no trades and still going to get what they want because they wanted Sonny Styles from the beginning.
There's still rumors Dallas might draft wide receiver and trade my man that you don't want them don't want to sign that franchise tag. Who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, there's rumors of that.
Well, he said I read reports that he is going to sign his franchise tender.
They don't mean he won't get traded though.
Well, if he get, I don't think if they haven't traded him yet, now they have no reason to trade him. You see what I'm saying? They have no reason because they're going to get Sonny Styles. If this is who they've been aiming for, the Cowboys are going to get Sonny Styles at this point. Unless the Commanders throw a curveball and say fuck Caleb Downs, we're gonna go Sonny Styles because we know that Bobby Wagner he might come back for another year, but Bobby Wagner is not the Bobby Wagner that we know and love, the first ballot Hall of Famer. We know he's not that. We know he can't cover anybody at this point in the juncture of his career. Sonny Styles can, having roots at playing the safety position, so I think he can play a lot of the receivers in the slot if necessary. We know that he can check running backs out the backfield. He has the speed. You see his 40 time. So, like I said, I don't unless the Commanders throw a curveball and pick up Sonny Styles, Cowboys ain't got to move nowhere.
No, they did it, bro.
Caleb Downs?
No, Sonny Styles. Washington took Sonny Styles. Yeah, Sonny Styles went to DC. We need more linebackers, bro. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. We need more linebackers, baby. We need more linebackers.
Now, like I just said, unless they throw a curveball. So now where does Caleb Downs go? I mean,
because who's up next? Who's up next, Joe? Who's
you
up
got
next?
this? You got this? You got the Saints up next.
Maybe the Saints take him. Maybe the Saints take him at 8. It's not the goddamn Giants going to end up getting his ass.
Every time I look at the draft every year, it's all. Remember I told y'all. Remember my final thought, and I said Kiss, and I said my head coach used to always say Kiss, and people was like, what does that mean? Keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying? Wait a minute now. Are you questioning the Washington taking Sonny Styles over Caleb Downs? Is that what you're saying? Why is that?
Because Caleb Downs is a game changer from day one. Sonny Styles, y'all. I'm not saying he's not worthy of that pick, but Caleb Downs is what y'all need. He's an anchor. Sonny Styles gonna have to learn that position. It's easier to learn the safety position than it is to learn it. And y'all are playoff ready. Y'all not.
You know how bad? Do you know how bad our linebacker core was last year?
I get
that. Pretty bad.
Y'all secondary was bad too.
Yeah, we can only draft one player here, so we have to decide. Unless somebody can give us the next pick too, we can only take one player here. We have to pick one. I'm telling you, Jody, I'm hearing rumors of this guy Caleb Downs' knee. I'm telling you, I don't know how true that is, but I heard he had some questionable stuff in his knee. I don't know if that's true. That's a rumor that's been floating out there, but all I know is Sonny Styles, baby, to DC.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm tired of these old ass linebackers who've been running out there.
It's not a bad pick for you guys, but I said this years ago when I was at the draft. I was actually at the draft in Vegas, and I told everybody, including the Washington Commanders, if you don't take Cal Hamilton at the safety position, you're going to regret it. And I was fucking right.
Well, I wanted to take him too. I agree with that.
But I'm just saying, I'm like, why? Because he ended up going to Baltimore with the 14th pick. It wasn't just the Commanders that passed up on him. I think this is the same similar situation where you're going to pass up on Caleb Downs and you're going to regret it. Not saying just the Commanders. I think the Kansas City Chiefs made the Giants. I think the Giants more than anybody could, because at the 10th pick,
Giants got the 10th pick now. They can still take him.
That's true.
Yeah, they right there.
If they're able to get Caleb Downs and Arvell Reeves.
If he get past the next 2 picks, he can still be the 10th pick.
So what are we looking at with New Orleans? What's New Orleans? What's their need? What do you like for New Orleans?
Shit. They can go wide receiver here. They need some more weapons to help that surprising quarterback. We talked so much shit about that quarterback last year. We couldn't pronounce his name, and boy, he made us all eat some humble pie last year.
Not yet. Not fucking yet.
Last year he did. That's not saying.
No, I mean he played decent last year, but let's not roll out. He had as many wins as Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, but we did think that this kid, the Saints were going to have 2 wins. Remember we were saying that?
I said
they might win 2 games.
I thought the Saints was going to be really bad.
I would say, Joe, I can see them going wide receiver right here, or possibly getting Caleb Downs to anchor that defense.
Yeah. Chris said, would you compare Sonny Styles hybrid built to Isaiah Simmons coming out of Clemson? I think Sonny Styles is a better tackler than Simmons. I think he was, they going offensive lineman out of Utah, Fano. Offensive lineman out of Utah.
Who took him?
That's who the Saints just picked up.
Okay.
And this is my problem with the Saints picking another offensive lineman. You know, the Saints have picked an offensive lineman in the first round, I think 4 out of the last 7 years.
I know last year they picked a Texas lineman.
They went with Banks. They done picked if you go back and look at their history in the last 7 years, they have picked the offensive lineman in the first round 4 different times. Y'all keep picking offensive linemen, and y'all still don't have a good offensive line. It's crazy to me. What the fuck is y'all doing?
Why is Alvin Kamara still there? I don't know.
He said if the Saints trade him, he will retire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get ready to retire, brother.
And the crazy thing too is that the offensive lineman from Miami is still on the board too. That's another guy. But once again,
maybe that's who Cleveland's gonna take, Jody.
But that's the thing. He plays the right side. He doesn't play left. And that's what I keep trying to. We gotta be sensible of what we're doing. If you already got 2 guys that play the right side on Cleveland's team. Oh, he said the Cleveland Browns picked Fano.
So
who the Saints pick?
Bro, what he on Twitter or some shit? Cause it ain't popped up on my screen yet.
Yeah, I'm up here putting this on. Let me take that up. I thought that the Saints. I'm still looking to see who the Saints pick.
They haven't announced it yet on television. That don't mean that somebody insider ain't already said who they were taking, but
yeah, I didn't see it when I was out at the draft. We knew 2 or 3 picks ahead when I was actually physically at the draft in the war room. I think
really?
We knew 2 picks ahead. When the picks are already in, they just got to go with the allotted 15 minutes or so that they have. So when you're there, I was able to like, hey, they got such and such, they got such and such because I was
this year, Joey, I think they dropped the pick time to 5 minutes per pick.
Did they?
Yeah, I think it's only 5. Bro, it's happening real quick. Pick is in. So I mean, the Saints pick is there. It's just these damn commercials or slowing down.
Shit, that's what paying the bills.
I know. I'm just saying that's what's slowing down us actually getting the picks because they got all these damn commercials.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is they gotta pay some goddamn bills. But going back to the Saints, I don't know who they picked up yet, but I just think that the Saints. Maybe the Saints are gonna go Caleb Downs. I don't know.
Well, they won 6 games last year, so not bad.
I mean, they won 6 games, and then Chris Olave had a career year. He had a career year. He had the most touchdowns he caught last year. So like I said, I'm interested about the draft. We only gonna be on here. We're gonna get you guys to probably pick 12 to see what the Cowboys pick, and then after that, we will call it a show because I'm not gonna be. I was gonna do the whole draft. I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna be able to make the whole draft.
That's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
But last year when we did it, bro, man, we had like 10 people on here off and on.
We was able to put people on, take people off, so people didn't have to stay on there the whole time. But it's been fun, man. I don't think it's been any surprising picks, except for Sonny Styles. I didn't think Sonny Styles would go over Caleb. I thought Sonny Styles would have been selected. But I thought he would have been 6 because I thought Cleveland would have traded with the Cowboys. I thought Caleb Downs would have went 5th. And honestly, I thought Arvell Reese would have went 4th. And then I thought Tate may have went to the Browns. But
the Cowboys are sitting back now just waiting to see how things are going to play out for them.
But now what
they're doing now.
But now
they're the 12th pick. That was the 12th pick, right?
Yeah, but now they can't get Sonny Styles. Where do you go? Where do the Giants go at this point?
The Giants, let me see. I don't know. We got the Saints. They're about to announce their pick.
I mean, where did the Cowboys go at this point? Now it's the guy that they wanted, Sonny Styles. They wanted Arvell Reese.
Hey, they can go my man with the short arms out of Miami. They always go him. He's still there. Hey, Jordan Tyson, bro. Saints took Jordan Tyson.
Okay, I like that. that.
Yeah, that's a good pickup for them. Jody, the Browns are officially on the clock.
I guess they went with that offensive lineman out of Utah. I think that's who they already went with, but I guess it ain't even no receiver that Cleveland can get at this pick right here.
Not this high. I mean, you still have what's that other kid that we talked about last year?
They got Malachi
still there.
Lemon.
But is he? I don't know. You never know. You never know what these teams are thinking. They might draft him here. They say if we like him, we don't give a damn what the pick is. Just take him. Yeah, some teams think like that.
But according to what Kathy said, she said that the dude already said that Utah they picked the offensive lineman Fano from Utah.
I think I do think they need an offensive lineman. See, they already got the pick in for the Cleveland Browns.
But this is my problem. Like I said, I think he did play left tackle. We haven't had a lot of success with drafting left tackles. We drafted the kid Wilkes from Alabama. He played maybe a year or two that was solid, and now nobody's even signed this kid. This guy is still a free agent out here. We didn't extend him. We didn't give him a 5th-year option. So I don't know, man. Like if we pick offensive lineman, great. That's a safe pick, but we need to be able to score the ball. And y'all
have another 1st-round pick too, though, don't you?
Yeah, we got the 24th pick, but now if Jordan Tyson's off the board, Carnell Tate, somebody's going to take Malachi Lemon before the 24th pick, and that only one I think will be available probably will be Denzel Boston. I like Denzel Boston, but once again, Cleveland, you can't keep getting number 2s and then mad because we can't score the ball when you had the opportunity to get a number 1.
But how do we know, Jody, if these guys can't be number ones? Just because someone's drafted high don't necessarily mean they're a number one.
Name a person that got drafted high that they didn't at least try to make a number one.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Just because we try to make them number one don't mean they pan out to be a number one.
But a lot of them have. If you look at Malik Neighbors.
But there's been a lot of lower round draft picks that turn out to be really good elite wide receivers.
I didn't say they're not elite, but if you look at receivers that's being picked early on, we can go back to Calvin Johnson. We can go back to even Braylon Edwards when he went to the Browns. He had a couple good seasons with the Browns. He had a couple seasons with the Jets. He was a number one. If you go back and look, guys that got picked heavily last year in the draft, the number ones, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, those guys were number ones in their rookie campaigns where they caught a lot of passes, went for a lot of yards. Now we are waiting for Marvin Harrison Jr. to be that guy. I just think that he needs a little bit more stable quarterback position. I think he can be that guy. So I think more often than not, when you take a receiver early on that is highly rated, I don't think we've been disappointed with that. If you can give me an example of a guy that got drafted really high that has disappointed in the last few years, I'm all ears, because Chris Olave was a first-round pick from Ohio State. Garrett Wilson was a first-round pick for Ohio State. All those guys have played relatively well.
Yeah, but you can still get a decent wide receiver, maybe late in the first round. You never know. I mean, I don't know who's going to be there.
But I'm saying if you had the opportunity to get one of these guys,
well, maybe you know, Jody, you know more than anybody. These guys have these draft boards, and maybe these guys are here. Maybe those guys more high on their draft boards.
And that's what I go back to. Keep it simple, stupid. A lot of y'all be coming up with more issues with these guys than not. Sometimes you just got to draft the guy, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Because if what they say, study long, study wrong.
Yeah,
that's an old saying. Study long, study wrong. And a lot of times Cleveland has not always been successful on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to draft picks. Especially we keep talking about how bad Cleveland quarterback selections have been, but we don't talk about how bad their wide receiver selections have been.
Yeah. You gotta have somebody to throw the ball to, that's for damn sure. If you don't have that, you're gonna have some issues.
There's only one wide receiver in Cleveland history in the Super Bowl era that has multiple 1,000-yard seasons. Can you guess who that is?
Andre Rison?
Nope.
Was it the brother that from the Baylor wide receiver you guys had?
Josh Gordon. Nope.
Who was it?
Amari Cooper.
Wow. I wasn't gonna guess him.
Amari Cooper. It wasn't Webster Slaughter. It wasn't Reggie Langhorne. It wasn't Terrell Pryor, who had 1,000 yards. It wasn't Odell Beckham, who had 1,000. It wasn't Jarvis Landry. And all those guys that I named, especially later on, the Odell Beckhams, the Jarvis Landrys of the world, the Terrell Pryor, those are all trades. Amari Cooper was a trade. We have the last good receiver that we drafted. I think Braylon Edwards was decent. He had a big time season where he had 80 catches, he had 1,300 yards. I think he had 10 touchdowns. He made the Pro Bowl. But then he started, having this issues there because we had issues at the quarterback position. We ended up
y'all took the old lineman from Utah. That's what y'all took.
Yep. Fano. That's what they said. I'm okay with that pick, but I just think that I guess our offensive line is solidified all across the board. I guess already.
What you say, Joe? You wanted more chocolate than Chocolate City in this pick? That what you saying?
I just want to score. Like, do you understand the last 2 or 3 years the Cleveland Browns averaged like under 15 points a game?
Yeah. When you got a new offensive coordinator. You got a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. Maybe things are going to get better there. But they're on the offensive side of the ball.
Kathy said Fano he can play all 5 positions on the offensive line. That's wonderful. But so DeJuan Jones is the odd man out on that offensive line because the only reason why he didn't play is he had injuries and he's healthy now. So now he's an odd because you don't bring in Howard from the from the Texans. You got Elgin Jenkins. He's gonna play right away. You get the guard from Johnson from the Chargers. He was the most highly rated free agent guard, so he's gonna play right away. We already got a center. And now we go bring in Fenton. So that means DeJuan Jones is the odd man out.
Yeah. So the Giants were up on the clock next, and Caleb Downs is still there.
I guess he's got to be Giant.
It's got to be right here. If not, man, he gonna mess around and slip to Dallas. Dallas might get him.
Is that a home run if they get Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs?
You damn right it is. Here we go. They go back to make the announcement right now.
They ain't gonna make it that quick. You know how they do.
Yeah, they already making it.
They already making it. Oh, they gonna make nobody wait, huh?
Oh, they picked the offensive line. That offensive line from Miami. Miami's up next.
What is it? What do we don't know about Caleb Downs?
I'm telling you, Joey. I've been hearing some shit about this guy's knee. I don't know. I listen to a lot of these draft podcasts, and they keep bringing up this kid. And they keep bringing something about a knee issue. I don't know if they discovered this during some of the pre-draft interviews, and they do all these goddamn poking pride at these players. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but I have heard that.
I don't know about buying that because he did not miss a game for Ohio State.
I know, but you know how it is, Joey.
Game in Alabama. So we talking about two prize organizations that had the best doctor. They probably got better doctors than some of these NFL teams. And all of a sudden we don't find it. We don't find it at the combine. Now and then these are only rumors.
Dolphins making the trade. Oh, Dolphins traded with Dallas. God damn it.
Then
Dallas on the clock.
Dallas definitely going for him then. But I don't think them. I wouldn't have traded with Miami.
They moved up one pick, Jody.
They moved up one pick, and they probably had to give up a third rounder or some shit like that. See, Dallas do Dallas shit.
What the hell they trade one pick for?
Dallas they'll go trade a pick and go get another fucking wide receiver and shit.
They gonna take Malachi Lemon. Hey, Joe, you see those memes going around? You know, Dallas Cowboys got like 3 offensive linemen named Tyler. They said they're gonna draft another lineman named Tyler. But
you know, to be honest, man, Dallas have always hit home runs with their offensive
line. Oh, they've only missed maybe on one, but for the most part they've hit.
Yeah, Zach Martin, you got Tyler Smith, the kid they just got, the Tyler they got from Tulsa a couple years ago. He's been really good. They hit on Ferguson back in the day. They got him, and I'm just saying more recent offensive linemen that they draft. What's the one kid they got, man? I can't. Big fella, man, number 79. I can't think of his name right now. And I ain't talking about Eric Williams. I'm talking about
recently,
like early 2000s. His name is right on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah, Dallas. I'm pretty sure Dallas probably gonna draft that Caleb Downs. I bet that's who Dallas takes. They need some help in their secondary. Their secondary is pretty weak, especially at the safety position.
Kathy says Fanos allowed 0 sacks but had 5 penalties, and that, like, I'm not disappointed with the pick that Cleveland got, but we have always had a good offensive line. We gotta be able to score the ball, and we have nobody on the offensive side of a position player that scares any defense. We don't have nobody and you gotta get weapons. You can't. Okay, let's say you protect Shedeur Sanders, but who the fuck is he gonna throw it to? Himself? Jerry Jeudy couldn't catch a cold. We lose David Njoku, so you lose one of your tight ends that he was hurt all last year. Now Fannin was a home run.
Yeah, he's been good.
He's a stud. A lot of guys have not stepped up to the plate for Cleveland at the wide receiver. They talking about Isaiah Bond maybe a better receiver this year.
Yeah, because he had a lot going on last year. He has his own off the field issues, and he got back on. Finally got to play some football, so maybe he can have a real training camp this year. Maybe he'll be. I'm not saying he's gonna be the next great wide receiver, but maybe he can help out that offense.
One thing I will say, and I'm happy in Cleveland, is Cleveland when Kevin Stefanski's whole era there, even when we was winning games, it seemed like if it was a wide receiver that caught the pass, he got taken out the game immediately. You never seen a wide receiver in Cleveland get multiple passes thrown to him and caught on a drive. And I'm hoping that Todd Monken's changed that. If you see a guy that's hot, you don't take the guy that just caught the ball out the game.
Yeah.
He was like Kevin Stefanski wanted to run his offense the way that he wanted to run it, no matter fucking what.
He was pretty stubborn. A lot of coaches are, but he's very stubborn.
Yeah, it's like he wanted to run. If he had plays already mapped out, he didn't give a fuck if dude just caught a 50-something yard pass.
Yeah.
This is the same guy that Shedeur Sanders go all the way down the field, and you take him out the game when he scored a touchdown to put somebody else in a 2-point conversion because you wanted to run a 2-point conversion without the quarterback that threw for over 300 yards in the game.
Dumbest shit in the world. Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Oh my God. There she said Bond might be a goal. We said, what about Tillman? Tillman can't stay healthy. I was very high on Tillman, Cedric Tillman out of Tennessee.
Oh yeah, he has some spurts when he played pretty good.
Yeah, but he had some spurts last year and the year before, but he can't put it all together. And we can't bank. How many years can we keep banking on guys supposed to be good? We need motherfuckers that actually are good, and that's the problem in Cleveland. And like I said, the offensive line looking like thrash. I don't know. We looking at the offensive line, and now we went from having the worst offensive line last year to a top 10 offensive line on paper.
Yeah.
So we probably can run the ball, which Cleveland has always been able to run the ball. I mean, you go back to the 80s, Ernest Byner, Kevin Mack, Eric Metcalf. You know what I'm saying? We had Leroy Hoare. We had what's your boy was on Madden cover, Peyton Hillis.
Oh yeah.
I
don't know, bro. I also think that Deshaun Watson gonna be a starting quarterback. I know you said that too. I got a feeling he gonna get that starting job there, bro.
This is my thing with Deshaun Watson being a starting quarterback. If he beats Shedeur Sanders out,
he deserves it.
Okay with that.
Yeah.
But don't give him shit. He hasn't earned the right or the Pruitt, Mike Pruitt and Greg Pruitt. Jim Brown, I mean, shit, Cleveland, I mean, shit. Leroy Kelly. Like, Cleveland have always been able to run the football. But Deshaun Watson, if Deshaun Watson beats him out, I'm okay with that. Listen, I don't give a fuck who play quarterback as long as you play well.
Yeah.
Everybody keep, well, Cleveland had 30. I don't give a fuck. We had 80. If we get a quarterback that can win a game, I don't give a fuck how many quarterbacks we had prior to. You know what I'm saying? People get hung up. That's like you in a relationship. Well, she used to mess. I don't give a fuck who she used to mess with. She messed with me now.
She with me now. She finally made the right choice.
Yeah, she had a lot of bad decisions. I'm trying to get her to get the right decision.
Trying to get her life right. Trying to make an honest woman out of it. Let's see who the Dallas America's team takes. The Dolphins got the Dallas 12th pick, and Dallas also gave them two fifth-round picks.
You can't give up them fifth-round
picks. They gave up 2 5th-rounders to move up 1 pick.
And they wonder why they can't fill their special teams rosters out. They wonder why they don't have no backups of no significance. 5th round, look.
Cowboys all about splash, bro. You know, Cowboys, they all about splash. I guarantee they finna take Caleb Downs right here, bro. Or Malachi Lemon. Let's see what they take.
If they go with a receiver, now they pulled the same shit when they got CD Lamb. Remember they needed defense.
Caleb Downs, a Cowboy.
Caleb Downs, I can live with that.
Damn it.
I feel good with that. Kathy said, I feel the last good quarterback was Brian. No, Bernie Kosar. Bernie Kosar was at the site. So Downs, I think this. Listen, man, your division got that much better, man.
Oh yeah, the defense. The defense. I'm gonna tell the Eagles are in trouble, bro. The issue they've been having.
All y'all got better. Y'all got better with Sonny Styles, even though I think they should have went Downs, but I think y'all still get better with Sonny Styles. The Giants got tremendously better. And now the Cowboys getting Caleb Downs is a game changer. I'm telling you, people gonna look back at this draft and look at Downs going number 11, and that's still most people are like, well, he's still a first-round pick, Jody. He's still a top 15 pick. No, this guy could be defensive rookie of the year type good. That's how good Caleb Downs. And now he goes to a team that has some pieces on defense. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about Caleb Downs because we're gonna be on. Let's go for 2 hours. So we'll 15 minutes.
I think he's gonna help that secondary out tremendously, man. That secondary was terrible last year, but they do now have a new defense coordinator. They just picked up from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's the DB coach there. So I think this guy, along with that new defense coordinator, has some fire into that defense. And I think they're going to be. I don't know how great they're going to be, but I think they're going to play harder than they did last year. If you don't play hard, why are you playing the game if you can't play hard? You know, women don't like gummy worms. They like you to bring the thunder. You know what I'm saying?
They want you to be hard and stiff. You got to be stiff on D. But my son My son, I love you so much.
He
Jody Jr.
already got his Caleb Down jerseys.
He got on here. He said, Caleb Downs, baby. He said, let's freaking go. Fudge and go. Because he's not going to cuss in front of me. You already know. But anyway, this is my thing with my son. My son is a devout Michigan Wolverine fan. Jody, how do you feel about Ohio State Buckeye coming to your Cowboys?
Jody said, he said, oh, I don't care about that. He's a Cowboy.
Once they get out of college, I don't care. Like, I care when they're in college. I don't give a damn when they come pro. Because when we got Braylon Edwards, I was cool with that. Like,
I know. We picked up Adrian Peterson. He was already old. He went to Oklahoma. I was like, shit, if we'd have got him 5 years ago, maybe he could have done something.
Speaking of Adrian Peterson, he is eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2027. I think he had to wait 2 more years. Which, of course, he's going to be a first ballot without a doubt. But if he would have went ahead and retired when he was supposed to, because I think if he waits that long, he's probably going to go in with that's going to be a pretty good class. I want to say, because Tom Brady is when is Tom Brady eligible?
Next year? Mm-hmm. No.
Mm-mm.
When Dallas eliminated Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he might be 27.
What year was that, Jody? Was that during COVID?
Yeah, I think no. Remember, he played a year after COVID. He won the Super Bowl. He played another year after the Super Bowl. So I think
it's been about 5 years.
22. I think he won't be eligible to 27.
Possibly.
Because you got to think it's 26 now.
Yeah, because they played. You're right. They won the Super Bowl. They came back the next year and they played like shit. They barely won enough games to get to the playoffs. And Dallas.
They did 8-9, and then they got the shit beat out of them by the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the Cowboys retired. So no, he might not be eligible in 28 then. Because the year that he got put out, that year, so they won the Super Bowl. The next year, the Rams won the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. The Rams, and then so yeah, he won't be eligible to 28 then. That's good. But we all know he's gonna be first ballot. We know that Adrian Peterson gonna be first ballot. Who are some other guys that's retired that's gonna be up to get in?
Well, your favorite quarterback, Big Ben, he's getting close to his time to get into the Hall. He's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champion. He's gonna get in there.
Guess what happens if he don't? He gonna strong arm some motherfuckers in the bathroom if he don't get in.
Oh man, he's gonna get in.
But think about it, Eli Manning. So Eli Manning has been eligible for 2 years. He's missed the Hall of Fame 2 years. They're not gonna keep not letting him in. But do you think that they let him in next year before? Because they're not gonna put Eli Manning and Tom Brady in you know why? They're not gonna put those guys in the same. You can't because Eli Manning beat Tom Brady for 2 Super Bowls. So I don't think you could put both of those guys in the same year. So I can say that they're gonna let Eli Manning in next year. What do you think about that?
I don't know, Joe. I don't. The more and more he doesn't make it, the more me thinking he shouldn't make it. I know he had those 2 crazy playoff runs, but other than that, the guy wasn't a great quarterback. He was good.
So Joe Namath was a great quarterback?
No, Joe Namath. See, here we go. We're gonna start on this. Joe Namath in the time. Joe Namath is one of the legends of the league, so he kind of one of the godfathers of the NFL. So he was going to get in. His numbers don't really matter. His numbers don't really matter.
Well, we want to talk about that. Give me a second. Donald said he just woke up. He said pre-workout nap, and the voice of he said the voice on the phone was hollering Caleb Downs all in my ear, and he talking about my son must have called him because they talk all the time, Jody and Donald. And he said Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. He said Eli Manning's average. That's what Donald, the voice of you, said. And then Kathy said the Miami picked up Proctor, the offensive lineman out of Alabama. Now let's talk about this real quick. I'm not gonna let you off the hook because I give you Joe Namath because of what he did for the league.
Yes,
but I can't give you Dan Fouts.
At the time, Dan Fouts was one of the godfathers of the new age quarterback throwing the ball all over the football field. So he was kind of one of the godfathers too. You got to think about that. I would say Dan Fouts deserves to be in the Hall. Jody, I know what you're gonna say. I know you're a numbers guy, but sometimes numbers don't really tell the whole story of a guy's career.
Now let me say this. I think Dan Fouts deserves to be in. I do. I'm just saying, if you're gonna let a guy like a Dan Fouts in, and then you're gonna say, well, nah, we're not gonna let Eli Manning in. Eli Manning's numbers on some bad teams. He never played with this dude never played with a Hall of Fame worthy offensive player. He had one Hall of Famer that he played with, and that was Michael Strahan, and that was only for one Super Bowl.
Yeah, but their defense led them to those. So I'm not saying Eli
name a person on that defense that's going to be a Hall of Famer.
No, that's not what I'm saying. They can have a no-name defense, still be very fucking good. I mean, I'm not saying Hall of Famers. I'm saying, but their defense is really the strength. The defense in that running game is really the strength of those teams.
You know that Tiki Barber wasn't on either one of those teams.
Yeah.
So now you're going with guys like Bradshaw and Jacobs and Ward. Those are your running backs. Nobody's writing home about none of them three dudes I just named. He won a Super Bowl with guys that shot themselves in the leg and Plaxico Burress. He won Super Bowls with guys like Mario Manningham. He won Super Bowls with Amani Toomer. Come on, bro.
Amani, well-dressed too.
He won with a tight end named Kevin Boss. Come on,
Jody.
Come on, bro.
But I hate to sound like your nephew, Donald, but I think Eli gets a little bit too much credit for those Super Bowls he won.
Wait,
if it wasn't for that Giants defense shutting down that prolific offense from the New England Patriots, Eli wouldn't have won that fucking Super Bowl.
I get that.
They kept that score. They kept that defense kept that score what it was.
I'm gonna say it again. If I name you every quarterback that's in the Hall, they had somebody that either is a Hall of Fame caliber player outside of probably Warren Moon. Warren Moon is probably a player that in his prime in Houston didn't have a Hall of Famer on his team. You know, he had a good receiver, Haywood Jeffries.
Yeah. Drew
Hill, Ernest Gibbons, Curtis Duncan. He played the running back, Alan Pickett and Lorenzo White. But none of those guys are Hall of Famers. And he didn't win anything. Dan Fouts had Kellen Winslow, Sean Jefferson, Charlie Joyner. Them niggas had some ballers on that San Diego. James Brooks was on that team. Lionel James was on that team.
They ain't had no defenses.
They didn't.
Why they didn't win shit?
I think I'm not sure. Did they play with Did they have Chuck Muncie on that team, or he was already gone?
I think he was already gone. I remember Chuck Muncie.
Remember Chuck with the running back?
Yeah, Chuck Muncie was a dog.
And then Foreman was with the Minnesota Vikings. But what I'm saying is, you got these guys, and I'm not saying the Super Bowls. Those Super Bowls got to hold some weight at some point. When you took a team that the Giants were just, let's be real, the Giants were just an okay team that seemed to go on runs.
Yeah, they were. I think they were wild card teams both times, weren't they? Or did they win the division? Because they mostly went on the road when they won their Super Bowls.
They won the road every time.
Yeah, they didn't have they might have had one home game through those two playoff runs.
I think when they went, because I think they went 10-6, the second Super Bowl.
I remember the first time they beat Dallas in Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, they beat them 24-21 because R.J. McCorders got the interception in the end zone. Your boy Tony Romo threw it.
They beat my boy.
That's your man. That's your man's in them. That's your man's in them, though, right?
Oh no, Joe. I like Eli. I like him and his brother, the dynamic they have together. I think I like their show, but I don't know. Eli's a good quarterback, but I don't know, man. I if you go back and look at his numbers, I think numbers mean more now than what they did back in the past.
He's top 10 passer all time. He's top 15 in touchdown passes all time.
He threw for a lot of yards. He played a long time. Don't mean that he was great.
But when you got guys that got more interceptions and touchdowns in the Hall of Fame, but that's cool.
No, it's not cool. But like I just said, numbers mean more. Numbers mean more now than what they did in the past.
What? So why can't I just ask questions? I'm just asking questions.
Hey, I'm willing to answer every question you ask me, brother.
Donald said, I think just because another is already in the Hall don't make Eli a Hall of Famer. Maybe those other quarterbacks shouldn't be in either. I don't know about that. Like I said, I think that Doug Williams should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he should be.
And the reason why is the same reason why Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame. I think both of those guys were pioneers, and both of them was very necessary for the football that we're watching today. No, Joe Namath is just as – that's why I joke around, but Joe Namath is a Hall of Famer. because of that. And then Doug Williams to be right along. Doug Williams never played another game after winning the Super Bowl. He never played, and I'm still wondering why. I think he fucked the script up, and John Elway was supposed to win that motherfucker.
That second quarter, he was fucking their ass up that second quarter.
But if you look at that, so the next quarterback get in is probably gonna be big man. That's eligible. We still don't have Donovan McNabb in the Hall of Fame. We still don't have Randall Cunningham, because I think Randall Cunningham is not on the level of Joe Namath and Doug Williams, but I think Randall Cunningham changed the quarterback we're looking at right now. The way the game is being played, that's Randall Cunningham. That's not Michael Vick. Everybody want to give it to Michael Vick. That's Randall Cunningham that did that.
Well, honestly, your guy Donovan McNabb deserves to be in the Hall, man. If we're gonna put Jim Kelly in the Hall, which I'm not shitting on Jim Kelly. He had a good NFL career, a great NFL career. You can't tell me what Donovan McNabb did, taking that team. Like, you talking about no weapons. I mean, name me other than T.O. That 1 year, he didn't have no Todd Pinkston.
They had Freddie Mitchell, man.
Freddie Big Play Mitchell.
They had James Thrash.
Now, they had good running backs. Their running backs.
Not really. They had Deuce Staley, and they had Westbrook for like two or three.
Didn't they have Charlie Gardner? Was Charlie Gardner playing in Philly?
Not with McNabb. I think he might have played a year, but I know his best years was in Oakland with the Oakland Raiders. But I know he did have Westbrook for about a 3-year span.
Hey, Jody, Todd Simpson went to the Rams, bro. Motherfucker.
Hold on,
It took him at 13, Jody.
What is that saying about Matt? This is Matthew Stafford's last year then.
Oh yeah, the Rams are a smart organization, bro. They're thinking for the future. They know that my man, that he's trying to get a contract extension. Matthew Stafford, he might play 2 years. Depending on how that back holds up, but this is a great pickup for them. And he don't have to play right away. He can learn from a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Great coaching. This is a great situation for him. Just stay away from the guy. What's his name? The wide receiver.
For which one?
Nakua.
Oh, Puka Nakua.
Stay away from him because he likes to bite people. But other than that, you good.
This is my issue with this situation, is the Rams are in mode where they're one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Why not go get a piece right now that can help you right now?
But they made a lot of good moves in the offseason. They got both of the starting corners from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay,
that was their weakness last year.
Kansas City didn't make the playoffs last year, so what is that?
Yeah, but I'm saying, those not because their corner play wasn't well. I just think that the Rams are already set. Now maybe they might want to get another wide receiver, because I think Puka needs a little more help. I think the other guy gets a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
if they would have went Malachi, they should have went Malachi Lemon right there. He plays right there in their backyard. Malachi Lemon plays at USC right in the Rams' backyard. I would have liked them to have picked him up. I would have liked them to get something that can help them right now. Ty Simpson is the future.
You know what this means? You know what this means, though, Jody? They cool with the roster they have now. They think they have a roster. If you think about it, they got outplayed a little bit by Seattle last year in the playoffs, but they were right there last year. Those games could have went either way. And
that's my point. That's why you get a receiver, Malachi Lemon, to play. So when Devontae Adams misses his 4 to 5 games that he seemed to always miss, he's going to miss 4 to 5 games. This is what Devontae Adams does. And you got a guy that can learn and play with Puka Nakua. He's gonna get one-on-one coverage. I would like Malachi Lemon to go there instead of Ty Simpson, or go get that tight end out of Oregon to help you. You already got Higbee down there. I think they still they haven't got Higbee. They got some other guys.
Higbee, they have good tight end play there. I know you like tight ends. They got good tight end.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the tight end. So my son asked me. He said, "How do I feel about Fano?" I'm saying, I don't know if I'm saying the name. I'm fan of the tackle to Cleveland. How do I feel about that, Jody? I'm okay with it, but I'm not ecstatic. The reason being because I'll just explain it to everybody on the show that Cleveland needs to score points. We average 13 points a game or 14 points a game for the last 2 seasons. You're not scoring you can't score the ball if you ain't got nobody that's gonna take the top off the defense. I would have really have loved to see a wide receiver. Malachi Lemon is still available. We could have went him. We could have stayed at 6 and got Jordan Tyson. I just think that you got to get weapons on the outside, especially when you had already made some additions to the offensive line and got some really. You got the two best guards that were available, Jenkins and Johnson. Both of those were the top rated free agent guards. We got both of those. Howard was a very solid right tackle, and I believe we got this. We got a center. We re-signed our center, not the starting center, but the guy that played backup for Cleveland. So we re-signed him. Now, and then we still had DeJuan Jones. So,
but Joe, this is why the NFL draft is so great, because we really, honestly, outside of the top pick, we didn't know who nobody was going to take. We've had 3 or 4 surprises already. Nobody had the Rams. All the experts I've been saying they think they know everything. No one had the Rams taking this kid in the 13th. No one, Jody.
No, I thought
he was probably surprised when his phone rang. Said, "Man, is that a LA area code? What the hell?"
I think a lot of people, like, I thought he was going to end up at 16 to the Jets. But Kathy, she said the Browns couldn't even run a screen. That's because that offensive line. This is the offensive line they got that they picked up in the offseason is a completely whole new offensive line. So that's why I say in Cleveland, now we got to get this offensive line to jail. That's where I wish we had Callahan, I believe is the best offensive line coach in football. Remember, he left to go coach with his son in Tennessee. Then when he got fired, I don't know where he's at now. I would love to get Callahan back in Cleveland, but picking the offensive lineman, I'm okay with it, but you got to be able to score the ball. Now, you know what make me happy, so, is they go ahead and go sign Stephon Diggs for 1 year.
That's a possibility. He's still out there. He gonna need some money to pay them child support payments, so he's still out there. He gonna need to get him another gig here pretty soon.
If we can get him for 1 year, until we can figure out this wide receiver position, and I guess we're gonna stay put with Jerry Jeudy. I guess we okay with Jerry Jeudy. If he can regain what he did 2 years ago, we'll see. But I hate we gonna see at the wide receiver. I don't like that. I want to see somebody that's bona fide.
Maybe sounds crazy. Maybe Diggs can go back to Buffalo again and sign a 1 year deal. You never know.
Yeah, that she said Diggs has problem. I don't think they would ever sever that relationship. Him and Josh Allen would never sever that relationship. They had a good run when they did it, but I think sometimes you can't unsay shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just can't unsay shit. And Stephon Diggs went to the Super Bowl before Josh Allen.
He did. And then he got there and didn't do shit.
Hey, he got there. Josh Allen, he don't even know what it means to be in the Super Bowl, though. So
he knows what it's like to watch it, but actually playing it,
and he be having the best seat in this house on TV. He having the best seat in this house. But who was the last pick? Who just picked last?
The Buccaneers. Ty Simpson. The Buccaneers. I think they're on the clock now.
Let's make the Buccaneers pick the last. I thought the Ravens was on the clock. Who the Ravens?
Oh shit! You know what? I'm sorry. The Ravens. That damn thing they're flying by. I think the Ravens took an offensive lineman.
They did.
No, who is this? Who is this kid right here? That an offensive lineman, Penn State player. No, they took a guard.
Well, we know it ain't a position player.
No.
Penn State. So let's make the. Actually, you know what? Let's go into the Jets pick. I want to see what the Jets pick.
Okay,
we'll do that. Let's make pick 16 our last pick, and let's keep talking our shit, man. I just want to appreciate everybody out here on the Against the Grain Sports that have tuned in to watch the draft coverage. This is our second year in a row that we covered the draft majority of the way. We want to thank Kathy, my son, young Chris out there, all the people that's watching and commenting. We really appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, we're just trying to take it to the next level. This is my Graceland when we start talking about football, NFL to be exact, man. I love it, man. With Against the Grain Sports, man. But yeah, man. So we'll go to the Jets. I can't not see what the Jets pick. It's like, have you ever seen like a car wreck and you riding by, you don't want to look, but you like, I gotta see what's going on over here.
Jody, I already know who they gonna pick, bro. They gonna take Malachi Lemon.
You think? I don't think he gonna be there,
bro. There's only one other team in front of them, Tampa Bay. I'll take it.
They do need a receiver. They just they lost Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
And Chris Godwin's still there.
Chris Godwin about to be up. The dude ain't been healthy in how many years?
Well, then there's that. But they drafted a really nice wide receiver last year, the one they got from Ohio State.
Boca. They got Emmanuel Boca. You need more talent down there. You can't just roll with that. Mike Evans.
Their defense is very suspect too.
Yeah, but you won't make Baker Mayfield happy. I think if you put all this money into Baker Mayfield, you know that Mike Evans is gone. Chris Godwin never plays. You got Iboka. You go get Malachi Lemon, and you got something. Who else is available? Because
from Tampa, I'm going defense right here. It depends on who's, like I said, depends on who's available.
It ain't really
my guy from Miami. Neither one of those Miami defensive ends have been drafted yet.
True.
Neither one of them been drafted.
But we know why your boy Ruben Bain ain't been drafted because of the I think that car accident came up.
They're already trying to get this guy down on the draft, and they're just looking for reasons. Talking about his arms and shit for months. Now this car accident happened. That happened 2 years ago. That everyone already kind of knew about. Not us, but I mean, it wasn't no secret. I mean, the team knew about it. All the NFL team knew about it. But a week before the draft, all of a sudden, it pops up. Yeah,
that's the whole situation with Jalen Carter a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people are kicking themselves right now. Jalen Carter is a Super Bowl winning D tackle. He's probably top 5 D tackles in the NFL already.
That's an example of learning your lesson from mistakes you make in life. I mean, we all do it. Like we talk about the other guy from Atlanta Falcons. He made mistakes. Hopefully, he learned from those things.
But why is it that every time it's a certain situation, people want to teach these individuals a lesson, but then they let other people off kind of lenient? And it's like, Ruben, we done seen guys that had off the field shit that go on, and they still get drafted. Remember a couple years ago, didn't Mac Jones have a DUI and still got drafted in the first round?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about? Go look up Mac Jones, a quarterback from Alabama. I think he had a couple DUIs, and nobody ever made mention of that shit.
That's not surprising.
Baker Mayfield grabbing his nuts before a handshake. That didn't matter. It's like certain.
Then Baker tried to run from them cops. Remember when he was at Oklahoma? He tried to run from them cops. Yeah.
Donald said that he said that Ruben Bain, he would love to see Ruben Bain in a Buccaneer uniform. So you might be right. The Jets may go after Malachi Lemon. Because if you don't, you got to think about these are the next upcoming draft picks. So the Ravens just picked the offensive lineman. So you got the Buccaneers on the clock. You got the Jets. The Lions don't need a receiver. Minnesota don't need a receiver. I can see him potentially going to Carolina, even though they drafted a receiver last year. Coker, I like him. Coker, but Coker needs to stay healthy. They got T-Mac, who had a fantastic season. So they may not go a receiver. But if Malachi Lemon is still on the board by pick 21, I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers drafting him.
Yeah, they normally draft pretty good at wide receiver. Maybe that kid Sadiq gets drafted here by Tampa Bay. I mean,
tight end. Well, they just signed their tight end Otter. They just signed him back.
Yeah, he's a good player. But I think right here, I think they're going to go Ruben Bain.
Ruben Bain. I would go. Me personally, regardless of the off the field shit with Ruben Bain, I think that Massador was better than Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
I think he was better. I think he was more impactful in the game. I think during the championship run that they had, beating Ohio State and then beating Texas A&M, I think both of them was very disruptive together. But I think Massador made a few more plays than Bain. And neither one. I mean, either one is 1A, 1B. To be honest with you, I think either one of them is a winner for you.
Yeah, Ruben Bain they just took him.
You took Ruben Bain. Okay.
Yes, sir. He get to stay in Florida.
Yeah, he get to stay with that warm weather. That's what's up. So now we got the Jets. I got to see who the Jets pick. So you thinking Malachi Lemon?
I'm thinking Malachi Lemon.
Wow.
You can't tell me they're gonna need more wide receivers, bro.
Oh, they definitely need wide receivers, but they don't. I don't think they're gonna go. I think they need offensive line though. Like that's been a problem for the Jets having any offensive line continuity.
Are there any other good offensive linemen? Just I know it's been like 4 guys drafted.
They got Utah, the Miami guy. It was about 6 good offensive linemen that could have went in the first round.
Joe, they keep stats on everything. They said this dude got the shortest arms of a first round edge rusher since 2003. They keep stats on every goddamn thing.
But they make up their own stats though. Like ESPN will make up their own goddamn stats, and then they will regurgitate it like this is fact. And then they'll say our facts department is smarter than yours. No shit, cause y'all making up shit. I give a fuck how long somebody's arms is.
And what's the center from the Lakers? What's that brother name?
You talking about Aiden?
Aiden. It's crazy when they say, well, when Aiden scores 20 points, the Lakers have winning record. Yeah, you mean a motherfucker that scored more points helps the team win. Imagine that.
They just say some shit. they say shit, and I'm not saying that it ain't legit because it's cool that you do some stats. You know, you find out.
No, Captain Obvious. I mean, shit. Come
Yeah,
on.
you saying shit that if you really think about it, like no shit, that team scored more points than that team and they won. Hold on. Wow. Who would have thought? Nobody would have thought that one right there. That would, hey, what they do?
Wow, that's why they get paid the big bucks, bro, to make those statements.
Right, I'm on fries and shit. And y'all making the big bucks and shit.
What's that, bro? Nobody says more obvious shit than Booger McFarland.
Man, they just scored a touchdown. They're gonna either score running the ball or passing it. He'd be like, they're gonna score a touchdown. It's either gonna be a run or a pass. No fucking shit.
Jody, he gonna Booger McFarland at halftime. He'd be in the studio. He'd be like, yeah, they're down 14 points. Everybody want to score in the second half to get back in the game. Oh, Booger, I'm glad you told us that, man. I wasn't thinking about us scoring in the second half. I'm glad you told us how to fix the team. What the fuck?
Man, we got Nostradamus.
Oh, man.
We gonna have to score more points in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. I kind of figured that out. We haven't been scoring, so.
Hey, that's hilarious, man. But it do be some Captain Obvious. The only thing they're gonna be able to do on this drive is run the ball or pass it.
I like Ruben Bain though, man. I hope he has a good career down there in Tampa.
Yeah,
even though he has the shortest arms and the first round pick since 2003.
He ain't gonna be able to slap a motherfucker. So hold on. So you telling me this nigga he lose every match of slap boxing? He never
got to. He got no reach.
Hey, hold on, wait, hold on. I just got an epiphany. So he's staying in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Orlando and Tampa kind of close, right? So Ruben Bain and Desmond Bain.
Oh, arm day, baby.
Both of their names are Desmond Bain and Ruben Bain. They may be kin. Now it's spelled differently. They're gonna be out there. They be playing patty cake.
He said these T-Rex motherfuckers out there.
Them niggas gonna be playing patty cake. Yo, that's crazy work, man. But we're gonna get this once the Jets pick come in. We're gonna call it a night.
The Jets they're on the clock. Well, the pick is in.
Yeah,
it's gotta be Malachi. Man, Jody, we're shooting about 80% so far.
Yeah,
we ain't missed no much.
You say Malachi, I'm gonna go. Who they pick with their first pick? They pick the edge rusher. They definitely need offense.
Hey, what about they gonna go Carson back?
That'd be crazy work. What do you think about Desmond Boston going right here over?
Nah, I think Malachi's the pick here.
I think Malachi is better than Desmond Boston.
They took the tight end from Oregon. That's what they took. Sadiq. That's a good pick.
That's a very good pick.
Jody, that means your other nephew might be sitting on the bench. That's Joy Taylor's nephew played there. He might be sitting on the bench.
But they play two tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing like having two tight ends.
You might want to call Joy and make sure she's doing okay.
But this is a good thing though for Cleveland. If Cleveland need to be creative and maybe they need to trade up and get the before the Steelers pick and trade with the Cowboys at 20 to try to get Malachi Lemon.
What's going on with Malachi Lemon, bro?
No, I think this is about right. I think he's a first round pick, but he could have went anywhere from 6 to 32. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised with that.
People were saying that he could have went higher because people were saying that Jordan kid from Arizona State was issues with his knees or ankles or something of that nature. But hey, we'll see here, man.
We definitely will see, man. I appreciate everybody coming in, joining our draft coverage yet again for year 2 against the Grain Sports draft coverage. We will probably not be honest with you. We probably won't be back till Saturday morning.
That's cool.
Until we normally take Fridays off so we can enjoy our families, go out.
Make sure, Jody, everyone out there go see the Michael Jackson movies coming out this weekend, baby. I'm already putting the glitter on my glove. I'm going to the game. You're going to see it Saturday night.
Definitely the Michael Jackson movie. And then it's some good movies coming out this summer. They got a Scary Movie 6 is coming out. I can't wait to see that. I'm a big He-Man fan. The Master Universe. It looked like they got a good story plot with that. They got a Mortal Kombat coming out this summer. So I'm excited about
Hey,
some of these.
there's rumors they might do another White Chicks movie. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's true.
But I don't think it's gonna be. I thought they were gonna do it opposite. It was gonna be the white guys playing the black girls.
I don't know. I heard a rumor they're gonna bring it back and make Drewski in and put him in just like he dressed up like that. I think that's what my son was telling me. That would be wild.
Hey, you know he getting sued for that, which I don't know how they gonna do it, but nevertheless, man, great show, man. Soul on Sports, man. Give me your final thought as we part ways.
I love it. I love the NFL draft. You know, we look forward to this every year, but I think moving forward, more and more players, if I'm not sure I'm going to be a first-round pick, are going to stay in college because they're making so much money in NIL. If some of these players don't get drafted today and they don't go back to college, if they end up getting a second or third-round pick, they're going to lose. They're going to take a pay cut to play professional football. Whoever thought that'd be what we'd be talking about.
Right. That's crazy. Good stuff right there, man. My final thought is this, guys. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all the fix is in. So what do you mean? AJ Dybantsa has declared for the NBA draft. So don't be surprised if the Utah
I like this.
Jazz
I like where you're going. I like this.
First fucking pick of the draft. If the Utah Jazz get the first pick of the draft, because he didn't have to make his decision now. He could have waited to see who got the decision. So don't be surprised. Everybody out there, do not be surprised if the Utah Jazz mysteriously get the first pick of the draft. That's my final thought.
I 100% agree with you, Jody, because apparently the biggest booster of BYU and paid this kid his money is the owner of the Utah Jazz. So this all set up for Utah to hit this layup. I got a feeling. I think you're right about that, brother.
Bro, I'm telling you. And then young Chris said the Hawks and Knicks are going down to the wire. But yeah, it's crazy. Listen, man. When I seen that he went pro, I was like, nah, this is about to be a Tim Duncan to San Antonio. This is about to be a Wemby to San Antonio situation. This is about to be a fucking LeBron James to Cleveland.
Even LeBron James said when he was like, everybody knew it was fixed. He pretty much said that.
The nigga is from Cleveland, Akron area. Like, Derrick Rose going to the Bulls. Come on, bro. Hold on. Derrick Rose going to the Bulls.
Hey, Jody, last year, the Lakers get Luka surprising everybody. And the NBA said, look, don't worry. I know you only got a 0.1% chance of getting the first pick. We'll make sure we'll replace this white guy with another. We got you. We're going to hook you up with Cooper Flag. It's all fixed, bro.
Guaranteed, Utah. Y'all heard it here first on Against the Grain Sports. I don't know if they got a hold of it yet. Maybe some other podcasts, but I know I'm about to cut this up and put this on there. Matter of fact, we get that as soon as the show. I'm gonna cut this up, put this on there. Don't listen, bro. Don't be surprised if the fix is in, but I think it is. If Utah get the first pick, nah. But yeah, I'm your host, Jody Coleman of Against the Grain Sports. Man, appreciate y'all tuning in to our draft coverage. Man, be back with y'all Saturday morning. We got my man Jarrell Solon Sports Glenn all the way from San Antonio, Texas. The show will be on at 11 a.m. as we always do on Saturdays with Ray, more than just a barber, Lindsay in his absence, Jason the Hefty Lefty, Donald, the voice of the youth, Michael, the people's champ, Perry, Andrew, mic'd up. And once again, we can't do none of this without J.K. and Chef cooking up in the kitchen, man. So what we doing till Saturday, man?
We working, baby.
See y'all later. Peace.